Stellar, Book 4 from the core series. Written by Nkennard, narrated by Nkennard. This is the fourth book in the core series. If you haven't already, listen to Books 1, Book 2, and Book 3 Audiobook. All three books are available on the StoryDepths YouTube channel. Audiobook partner StoryDepths available only on YouTube. All rights reserved. The characters and events portrayed in this book are fictitious. Any similarity to real persons, living or dead, is coincidental and not intended by the author. No part of this book may be reproduced or stored in a retrieval system or transmitted in any form or by any means, electronic, mechanical, photocopying, recording, or otherwise, without express written permission of the publisher. Prologue: Cosmic Particle, the core Book 3. Book 3 of the series delved deeper into the mysteries of the Earth's core and the cosmic particles discovered by Alexander Hawke and his team. They faced challenges in harnessing the energy of these particles and stabilizing their storage device. Despite setbacks, they made significant progress and returned to the surface with the potential to solve the energy crisis. Throughout their journey, they questioned the nature of the universe or the role of advanced civilizations in shaping planetary dynamics. The story explored themes of scientific discovery, technological innovation, and the ethical implications of manipulating cosmic forces. Chapter 1: The Secret Lab. As the Quorum ship navigated through the vast expanse of the ocean, concealed from prying eyes, it approached the coordinates that Hawke had meticulously stored in the ship's database. The island they were headed towards was not marked on any map, hidden from the world by a veil of secrecy known only to a select few. As they approached, the dense forest and pristine white sand beaches came into view, painting a picture of solitude and mystery. The Quorum ship glided to a gentle stop in a secluded area of the island. The team immediately sprang into action, securing the vessel in a designated spot away from the main facility. With the cosmic particle storage compartment emitting an unfamiliar energy signature, caution was paramount. Limited by the equipment available at the makeshift lab, the team had never tested the full extent of the energy output from the storage compartment on the Quorum ship itself. The prospect of unleashing such power in close proximity to their sanctuary raised concerns about potential repercussions. Working swiftly and methodically, the team deployed shielding materials and established a perimeter around the parked vessel, creating a buffer zone to contain any unforeseen energy emissions. Every precaution was taken to minimize risk and safeguard the surrounding environment from the unknown forces at play. The Quorum ship settled into its temporary berth. The hum of its systems gradually subsided, replaced by an eerie silence that hung heavy in the air. The team remained vigilant, their senses attuned to the slightest fluctuations in energy as they awaited further instructions from Hawke. Hidden beneath the lush canopy of trees concealed from prying eyes and satellite surveillance lay the entrance to the clandestine lab. It was a fortress of knowledge, a haven for scientific exploration beyond the constraints of mainstream scrutiny. Hawke guided the ship expertly, navigating through the thick foliage until they reached a seemingly ordinary section of the forest. But to the trained eye, there was a subtle distortion in the air, a shimmering veil of technology masking the entrance to the lab. With a silent command, the forest floor split open, revealing a hidden passage leading down into the ground level. Inside the lab, state-of-the-art equipment awaited them, ready to unravel the mysteries of the cosmic particle they had brought back from their journey to the Earth's core. Hawke gathered the team in the central chamber of the lab, where soft lighting and comfortable seating awaited them. "We've come a long way," he began, his voice carrying a sense of pride and exhaustion. "But our journey is far from over. Before we dive into our next phase of research, I want each of you to take some time to rest, to reconnect with yourselves and recharge." The team nodded, grateful for the chance to unwind after the intense journey they had undertaken. With Hawke's permission, they dispersed to various corners of the lab, finding solace in the simple comforts of relaxation. Some retreated to their quarters, eager to catch up on much-needed sleep after days of intense activity. Others wandered through the corridors, marveling at the advanced technology and scientific wonders that surrounded them. As they settled into their respective routines, Hawk ensured that communication with the outside world remained restricted. The secrecy of their mission was paramount, and they could not risk exposing their discoveries to prying eyes before they were ready. For now, the team found solace in the sanctuary of their hidden lab, taking solace in each other's company and the knowledge that they were on the cusp of something truly extraordinary. Hawk's decision to restrict communication with the outside world was driven by a sense of caution and foresight. When the Quorum ship reached the Earth's surface, Hawk received a covert message from Sean, a trusted ally who had been briefed on the existence and location of the secret lab. The message, though brief, conveyed a sense of urgency and hinted at potential dangers lurking beyond the confines of their hidden sanctuary. Hawk knew that Sean's warning was not to be taken lightly. It was a signal that their mission had entered a critical phase, one fraught with unforeseen challenges and hidden adversaries. Having prepared for such contingencies, Hawk had already instructed Sean to relay any pertinent information directly to the secret lab in the event of an emergency. Sean's cautious approach to communication was a testament to the gravity of their situation. Aware that his movements were closely monitored by the world government, Sean took meticulous precautions to safeguard the secrecy of the secret lab's location. Utilizing encrypted channels and cutting-edge encryption protocols, Sean devised a method that allowed him to send messages to the secret lab without leaving a trace. Each transmission was carefully orchestrated to evade detection, with layers of encryption and decoy signals designed to confound any attempts at interception. However, Sean's precautions went even further. To ensure that the secret lab remained concealed from prying eyes, he implemented a one-way communication protocol. This meant that while he could relay vital information to Hawk and the team, he would never receive a response or acknowledgement in return. Though this arrangement posed challenges in terms of coordination and real-time updates, Sean understood that it was a necessary sacrifice to maintain the security of their sanctuary. By severing the feedback loop, he minimized the risk of detection and ensured that the secret lab remained hidden from those who sought to exploit its groundbreaking research. As Sean continued to monitor developments from afar, he remained vigilant, ready to assist Hawk and the team in any way possible, while safeguarding the precious secret that lay buried beneath the forested expanse of the deserted island. This preemptive measure ensured that the team remained insulated from the outside world, shielded from the prying eyes and nefarious intentions of those who might seek to exploit their discoveries for their own gain. As Hawk meticulously combed through each encrypted message from Sean, the gravity of the world situation began to weigh heavily on his shoulders. The updates painted a bleak picture. Sean's movements were under intense scrutiny by the world government, Hawk's energy business had been seized, and the global sentiment toward the Quorum project was far from favorable. Despite the mounting pressure and the looming threat of exposure, Hawk made a calculated decision to shield the team from the harsh realities unfolding beyond the confines of their secret sanctuary. It was a burden he chose to bear alone, sparing his comrades the anxiety and uncertainty that gripped the world outside. With each passing message, Hawk's resolve hardened, his determination to safeguard the Quorum project and protect his team unwavering. He understood the risks they faced and the sacrifices that lay ahead, yet he remained steadfast in his commitment to see their mission through to its conclusion. Though the weight of the world bore down upon him, Hawk maintained a stoic demeanor, concealing the true extent of the challenges they faced from those who looked to him for guidance. For now, the secret lab remained their sanctuary, a bastion of hope amidst a world fraught with turmoil and uncertainty. With the team rested and recharged, they set their sights on the next phase of their mission, bringing the cosmic particles storage compartment into the confines of the secret lab. Aware of the potential dangers posed by the compartment's energy emissions, they approached the task with caution and precision. Andrew, the team's resident engineer, proposed a methodical approach using a combination of specialized instruments and robotics to safely transport the storage compartment. First, they deployed a series of robotic arms equipped with sturdy clamps designed to securely grip the compartment without compromising its integrity. Next, they activated a set of levitation pads beneath the compartment, harnessing electromagnetic fields to lift it off the ground with minimal contact. This innovative technology allowed for precise control over the compartment's movement, reducing the risk of accidental energy discharge. As the compartment hovered weightlessly above the forest floor, the team guided it along a pre-planned route, navigating through dense foliage and uneven terrain with ease. Along the way, they monitored its energy emissions closely, ready to adjust their approach at a moment's notice. Finally, they reached the entrance to the secret lab, where a reinforced airlock awaited their arrival. With careful coordination, they guided the compartment through the narrow opening, its pulsating energy contained within the confines of the lab's protective walls. As the compartment settled into its designated position within the lab, a sense of accomplishment washed over the team. Their careful planning and precise execution had ensured the safe transport of this invaluable resource, bringing them one step closer to unlocking its full potential. As Edward ventured outside the confines of the secret lab, he couldn't shake the feeling of anticipation that had gripped him since they arrived on the island. With each step, he marveled at the lush greenery and pristine beaches that surrounded them, a stark contrast to the high-stakes mission they were undertaking. Following the same route that had been used to transport the cosmic particle storage compartment, Edward made his way toward the Quorum ship, his senses alert to any signs of unusual activity. As he approached the clearing where the ship was parked, he noticed a curious sight that gave him pause. There, suspended in midair, was a small stone, hovering just above the ground with no visible means of support. Edward's curiosity piqued. He approached cautiously, studying the stone with a mixture of fascination and apprehension. The stone remained perfectly still, defying gravity with an otherworldly grace that seemed to defy explanation. Unable to discern the source of the stone's levitation, Edward reluctantly tore his gaze away, his mind swirling with questions and possibilities. Whatever force was at work here, it was clear that they were dealing with phenomena far beyond their understanding. Edward's mind raced as he pondered the implications of the levitating stone. Could it be that the cosmic particle's energy had somehow imbued the stone with this extraordinary ability? With a mixture of curiosity and trepidation, he reached out once, attempting to grasp the stone in his hand. To his astonishment, the moment his fingers made contact with the stone, he felt a force pushing against him, as if the very air around the stone had grown dense and heavy. Despite his best efforts, he found himself unable to lift the stone from its suspended position, the invisible force holding it aloft proving stronger than his own strength. Frustration mingled with wonder as Edward struggled against the unseen power, his mind racing to make sense of this perplexing phenomenon. Could it be that the cosmic particle's energy had somehow altered the gravitational field around the stone, rendering it weightless yet immovable? With each passing moment, Edward's fascination grew, overshadowing any sense of fear or uncertainty. Here, in the presence of this enigmatic stone, he felt a connection to something greater than himself, a glimpse into the boundless mysteries of the cosmos. As he continued to study the stone, Edward couldn't shake the feeling that it held the key to unlocking the secrets of their extraordinary discovery. With determination in his heart, he resolved to delve deeper into this newfound mystery, knowing that the answers he sought lay just beyond his reach, waiting to be uncovered. Breathless with excitement, Edward burst into the lab, his eyes alight with the fervor of discovery. "Hawk! Everyone, you won't believe what I've found," he exclaimed, his voice tinged with a sense of wonder. Hawk looked up from his work, a quizzical expression crossing his features as he took in Edward's enthusiastic demeanor. "What is it, Edward? What have you discovered?" he asked, intrigued by the urgency in Edward's tone. "It's incredible," Edward exclaimed, his words tumbling over one another in his eagerness to share his revelation. "I found this stone outside, just levitating there, defying gravity as if it's nothing, and I think it's connected to the cosmic particle's energy." Hawk regarded Edward with a mixture of interest and skepticism, his brow furrowing slightly as he processed the information. "Levitating stone, you say?" he mused, exchanging a glance with the other members of the team who had gathered around to listen. Some of the team members exchanged incredulous looks, a few suppressing chuckles at Edward's animated description. "Are you sure you weren't just imagining things, Edward?" one of them quipped, a hint of amusement in their voice. But Edward remained undeterred, his excitement undiminished by their skepticism. "I'm telling you, it was real. I've never seen anything like it," he insisted, his enthusiasm bubbling over as he recounted his encounter with the levitating stone. Hawk raised a hand to silence the skeptical murmurs, his expression thoughtful as he considered Edward's words. Regardless of whether it was real or not, Edward's discovery raises some intriguing possibilities, he remarked, his gaze lingering on the levitating stone. "We should investigate further, just to be sure." Equipped with advanced scanning devices, Emily and Chad joined Edward on his return to the site where he had discovered the levitating stone. The trio moved with purpose, their steps quickening with anticipation as they neared the spot. As they arrived, Edward pointed excitedly to the stone, still suspended in midair as if defying the laws of gravity. Emily and Chad wasted no time in setting up their scanning equipment, their movements precise and methodical as they prepared to analyze the mysterious phenomenon before them. The scanners hummed to life, emitting soft whirring noises as they began to gather data. Emily monitored the readings closely, her brow furrowing in concentration as she analyzed the information scrolling across the screen. "Interesting," she murmured, her voice barely above a whisper as she studied the results. "The scanners are detecting unusual energy fluctuations emanating from the stone. It's as if it's generating its own gravitational field." Chad nodded in agreement, his eyes alight with fascination as he examined the readings alongside Emily. "It's unlike anything I've ever seen," he remarked, his tone filled with awe. "This could have profound implications for our understanding of the cosmic particle's energy." Edward glanced around at the surrounding area, his curiosity piqued by the sight of numerous stones scattered across the ground. "Why is this the only one reacting to the energy?" he mused aloud, voicing the question that had been gnawing at his thoughts since their arrival. Emily and Chad exchanged thoughtful glances before Emily spoke up, her voice tinged with speculation. "It's possible that this particular stone possesses unique properties that make it sensitive to the energy emitted by the cosmic particle," she suggested. "Perhaps its composition or structure allows it to interact with the energy in ways that other stones cannot." Chad nodded in agreement, his expression thoughtful as he considered Emily's hypothesis. "It could also be a matter of proximity," he added, gesturing to the surrounding landscape. "This stone might be positioned in just the right location to be affected by the energy, while the others remain unaffected due to their distance or orientation." Edward nodded, absorbing their explanations as he continued to study the levitating stone. The mystery deepened with each passing moment, leaving him even more determined to uncover the truth behind this enigmatic phenomenon. The team brainstormed various methods to move the levitating stone, but every attempt proved futile. It seemed as though the stone had anchored itself to the earth, resisting all efforts to dislodge it. Emily suggested using specialized equipment to create a controlled electromagnetic field that could counteract the stone's gravitational effect. But even that approach yielded no success. Frustration mounted among the team members as they grappled with the stubborn stone, its inexplicable defiance serving as a testament to the mysterious power of the cosmic energy. Despite their best efforts, they remained unable to budge it from its position, leaving them at a loss for how to proceed. Hawk observed the team's struggles with a furrowed brow, his mind racing as he considered their predicament. It was clear that they needed to find a solution soon, as the enigmatic stone held the key to unlocking the secrets of the cosmic energy that had brought them to this secluded island. But until they could devise a way to move it, their quest for knowledge would remain at an impasse. Hawk, sensing the team's frustration and the urgency of the situation, stepped forward to provide guidance. With a calm yet determined tone, he instructed the team to conduct a comprehensive scan of the levitating rock's mineral composition using the advanced scanning devices they had at their disposal. "Let's gather as much data as we can about this phenomenon," he said, his voice carrying the weight of authority. "We need to understand the mineral composition of the rock and any other factors that might be contributing to its behavior. Once we have the data, we can regroup back at the lab and analyze our findings." His directive clear, the team set out to follow his instructions, their focus renewed as they worked to unravel the mysteries surrounding the levitating rock. With each scan and measurement, they hoped to gain valuable insights that would bring them one step closer to understanding the strange phenomenon before them. With the scanning results in hand, the team made their way back to the lab, their minds buzzing with anticipation. The journey back was filled with a sense of urgency, each member eager to analyze the data they had collected and uncover the secrets of the levitating rock. As they entered the lab, Hawk greeted them with a nod, his expression a mix of curiosity and determination. "Let's get to work," he said, his voice tinged with excitement. "We have a mystery to solve." With that, the team wasted no time in gathering around the central workstation, where they began to input the scanning results and analyze the data. Charts and graphs flickered across the screens as they delved into the mineral composition of the levitating rock, searching for clues that would explain its peculiar behavior. Hours passed in intense concentration as the team meticulously examined each piece of data, cross-referencing their findings and brainstorming theories. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, Hawk leaned back in his chair, a thoughtful expression on his face. "I think we're on to something," he said, his voice filled with excitement. "Let's keep digging." Sean's every move was monitored by the watchful eyes of the world government. Ever since his association with Hawk and the Quorum Project, he had become a person of interest, his every communication scrutinized for any sign of suspicious activity. Despite the constant surveillance, Sean remained undeterred. Utilizing encrypted channels and cutting-edge encryption protocols, he devised a method that allowed him to send messages to the secret lab without leaving a trace. Each message was carefully crafted, containing crucial updates on the state of the world and any developments that could impact the team's mission. However, as Sean continued to send his encrypted messages, the government's surveillance algorithms began to pick up on subtle anomalies. Patterns emerged in Sean's communication patterns, indicating that he was transmitting information to an unknown location. The government's top analysts were immediately alerted, and a team of experts was tasked with tracking down the source of the transmissions. Despite their best efforts, they were unable to pinpoint the exact location to which the messages were being sent. Sean, aware of the increasing scrutiny, took extra precautions to conceal his activities. He constantly changed his location, never staying in one place for too long, and employed sophisticated countermeasures to evade detection. Despite his meticulous precautions, Sean couldn't shake the persistent curiosity about Hawk's whereabouts. As he continued to send encrypted messages, he couldn't help but wonder if Hawk had returned to the secret lab or if he was still out there, navigating the treacherous waters of the world government's surveillance. With each passing day, Sean's anticipation grew, a constant undercurrent of uncertainty gnawing at him. He yearned for some sign, some indication that his messages were reaching their intended destination, that Hawk was receiving the updates he so diligently provided. Yet, despite his best efforts to remain focused on the task at hand, Sean found his thoughts drifting back to the enigmatic figure of Hawk and the team. Were they safe? Were they making progress on their mission? The questions lingered, a persistent echo in the back of his mind. But amidst the uncertainty, Sean remained steadfast in his resolve to support Hawk and the team in any way he could. With each encrypted message he sent, he silently hoped that it would reach its destination, serving as a lifeline to those who dared to challenge the boundaries of human knowledge. Meanwhile, in the secret lab, Hawk and the team remained oblivious to the growing tension outside. As the days passed within the confines of the secret lab, the team remained engrossed in their research, their focus unwavering despite the silence that enveloped them. Cut off from the outside world, they worked tirelessly, delving deeper into the mysteries of the cosmic particle and its implications for humanity. Unbeknownst to them, tensions were escalating outside the lab's walls. The world government, suspicious of Hawk's sudden disappearance and the lack of communication from the Quorum ship, had intensified their surveillance efforts, scouring every corner of the globe for any sign of their whereabouts. Yet, within the confines of the secluded island, Hawk and his team remained oblivious to the growing storm outside. Locked in a race against time, they pressed forward with their research, driven by a relentless determination to unlock the secrets of the cosmic particle and harness its power for the betterment of mankind. As they toiled away in their makeshift laboratory, they were unaware of the danger that lurked just beyond the reach of their sensors, the shadow of uncertainty looming ever closer with each passing moment. But undeterred by the unknown, they pressed on, their resolve unyielding in the face of adversity. Chapter 2. Transform. With their attention fully devoted to unraveling the mysteries of the cosmic particle, the team delved into the scan results obtained from the levitating stone. Each member pored over the data, searching for clues that could shed light on the phenomenon they had witnessed. As they analyzed the mineral composition of the stone, patterns began to emerge, hinting at the underlying forces at play. The scans revealed anomalies in the stone's structure, anomalies that seemed to correlate with the presence of the cosmic particle's energy. Excitement rippled through the team as they pieced together the puzzle before them. It was clear that the cosmic particle was not only capable of defying gravity, but also had the power to influence the very fabric of matter itself. As the team scrutinized the scanning results, they were astounded to discover the presence of an unknown metal nestled within the layers of the levitating stone. While to the naked eye the stone appeared unremarkable, the scans revealed a hidden truth. Within its core lay a mysterious metal, its composition unlike anything seen before. This unknown metal, it seemed, possessed the remarkable ability to interact with the energy emitted by the cosmic particle, undergoing a transformation that defied conventional understanding. As the cosmic energy infused the metal, it catalyzed a process of metamorphosis, turning the inert substance into a miniature cosmic body. This newly formed entity, no larger than a pebble, now exhibited properties akin to those of celestial bodies, responding to the gravitational forces exerted by the Earth. It hovered effortlessly, suspended in midair, a testament to the extraordinary power of the cosmic particle's energy. The team marveled at this revelation, their minds ablaze with questions and possibilities. What secrets lay hidden within this mysterious metal, and what implications did its discovery hold for their understanding of the cosmic particle and its potential applications? The discovery of the unknown metal within the levitating stone sparked a flurry of questions among the team, each more intriguing than the last. As they pondered the implications of their findings, a multitude of mysteries unfolded before them, demanding answers that lay shrouded in the depths of the unknown. First and foremost among their inquiries was the origin of the mysterious metal. How had it come to exist within the confines of the stone, concealed from the prying eyes of humanity for untold ages? It seemed inconceivable that such a remarkable substance could have remained undiscovered for so long, yet here it was, defying explanation and challenging their understanding of the world. Furthermore, the team wondered why this metal had eluded detection until now. Had it been deliberately hidden, shielded from the gaze of curious minds by some unseen force? Or was its existence simply overlooked, obscured by the vastness of the natural world and the limitations of human perception? Perhaps most tantalizing of all was the question of whether the Earth's core was composed of the same enigmatic metal. If so, what implications did this hold for their understanding of the planet's inner workings and the forces that governed its existence? Could the discovery of this metal provide the key to unlocking the secrets of the Earth's core and unraveling the mysteries of its formation? As the team grappled with these profound questions, they knew that the answers lay within their reach, waiting to be unearthed through the relentless pursuit of knowledge and the boundless curiosity of the human spirit. And so, fueled by their determination and guided by their insatiable thirst for discovery, they embarked on a quest to uncover the truth hidden beneath the surface of the world. With the levitating stone serving as a focal point of intrigue and wonder, the team embarked on the construction of a small hidden laboratory around it. Nestled amidst the verdant foliage of the deserted island, the laboratory would provide a secluded and secure environment in which the team could conduct their experiments undisturbed by prying eyes or external interference. Using advanced construction techniques and state-of-the-art equipment salvaged from the Quorum ship, the team worked tirelessly to erect the hidden laboratory, its sleek metallic structure blending seamlessly with the surrounding landscape. Concealed from view by dense foliage and cleverly camouflaged to evade detection, the laboratory remained hidden from the outside world, its true purpose known only to those who dwelled within its walls. Inside the laboratory, the team set to work unraveling the mysteries of the levitating stone and the unknown metal concealed within its layers. With sophisticated instruments and cutting-edge technology at their disposal, they conducted a series of experiments designed to probe the stone's composition, analyze its properties, and unlock the secrets of its enigmatic levitation. As they delved deeper into their research, the team marveled at the extraordinary capabilities of the levitating stone and the boundless potential it held for scientific discovery. With each new revelation, they edged closer to uncovering the truth behind its inexplicable behavior and unraveling the mysteries of the unknown metal that lay hidden within. And so, surrounded by the hum of machinery and the glow of monitors, the team embarked on a journey of exploration and discovery, guided by their insatiable curiosity and driven by the desire to unlock the secrets of the levitating stone and the cosmic mysteries it held within. As the team gathered around the levitating stone in their hidden laboratory, excitement and anticipation filled the air. They had spent hours poring over the results of their scans and experiments, unraveling the mysteries of the unknown metal concealed within the stone's layers. Now, faced with the task of naming this remarkable discovery, they exchanged eager glances and animated whispers. Hawk, his expression thoughtful, addressed the team. "We've made incredible progress in our efforts to understand this unknown metal," he began. "It's clear that this material possesses properties unlike anything we've encountered before. I believe it's time we gave it a name." A murmur of agreement rippled through the assembled group as they eagerly awaited Hawk's suggestion. After a moment of contemplation, he continued, "Given its significance to our research and its potential to reshape our understanding of the cosmos, I propose we name it Broomium." "Broomium," Emily echoed, testing the word on her lips. "I like it. It has a certain resonance, a sense of mystery and intrigue." "It's fitting," Chad added, nodding in agreement. "After all, this metal has defied our expectations at every turn, much like the enigmatic forces of the universe it represents." The rest of the team chimed in with their approval, their voices filled with excitement and anticipation. With the decision made, they turned their attention back to the levitating stone and the boundless possibilities that lay ahead. Broomium, they realized, was more than just a name. It was a symbol of their ongoing quest for knowledge and discovery, a testament to the wonders of the cosmos that awaited them. With the laboratory bustling with activity, Edward, Chad, and Emily gathered around the levitating stone, eager to delve deeper into the mysteries of Broomium. Meanwhile, their colleagues focused their efforts on studying the cosmic particle and its potential applications. Edward adjusted the settings on the advanced scanning device, directing its sensors toward the levitating stone. "Let's see if we can learn more about the properties of Broomium," he said, his voice tinged with excitement. Chad nodded in agreement, his eyes fixed on the stone. "I'm curious to see how it interacts with different forms of energy," he remarked, his mind already racing with possibilities. As Emily carefully attempted to adjust the position of the levitating stone, she felt a strange resistance, as if an invisible force were holding it in place. Surprised by the stone's immovability, she exchanged a glance with Chad and Edward, who shared her sense of bewilderment. "If Broomium truly possesses such remarkable properties," Chad began, his voice tinged with curiosity, "imagine the possibilities for advancement in technology and science." Edward nodded in agreement, his mind already racing with the potential applications of this enigmatic metal. "Indeed," he replied, his tone thoughtful. "But first, we must unravel its secrets." Together, they began their experiments, meticulously recording their observations and analyzing the data as it streamed in from the scanning devices. With each new discovery, their excitement grew, fueled by the prospect of unlocking the full potential of Broomium and harnessing its power for the betterment of humanity. Edward's eyes widened in astonishment as he witnessed the unexpected reaction of Broomium to the electrical charge. The flash of light on the computer screens hinted at some form of energy absorption, yet the Broomium itself remained unchanged, its surface unyielding. "Did you see that?" Edward exclaimed, turning to his colleagues with a mixture of excitement and intrigue. "Broomium absorbed the electrical charge, but there's no visible alteration." Emily leaned in closer, her expression reflecting both fascination and curiosity. "It's as if Broomium possesses the ability to assimilate energy without undergoing any discernible transformation," she observed, her mind already racing with possibilities. Chad furrowed his brow in contemplation. Could this be a sign of some latent energy storage capacity within Broomium, he speculated, his tone reflecting his eagerness to delve deeper into the mystery. With their curiosity piqued and their determination strengthened, the team resolved to explore further, eager to uncover the true nature of Broomium's remarkable properties. With a mischievous grin, Chad carefully poured the glass of water onto the surface of the stone, half expecting it to simply splash away. To his surprise, however, the water seemed to defy gravity, cascading over the stone's surface and enveloping it in a shimmering sheen. The team watched in awe as the water spread outwards, forming a perfect sphere around the stone, its surface glistening like a miniature planet suspended in space. "It's like watching Earth from afar," Emily remarked, her eyes wide with wonder as she observed the scene unfolding before them. Chad chuckled, unable to suppress his amazement. "Who knew Broomium had a knack for playing planetary host?" he quipped, marveling at the unexpected sight. Excitement brimming in their voices, Chad, Edward, and Emily huddled together, their minds racing with possibilities. "Just imagine," Chad began, his eyes gleaming with enthusiasm, "if we could harness Broomium on a larger scale and charge it with cosmic energy. The applications could be endless." Edward nodded in agreement, his mind already spinning with ideas. A levitating building, perhaps? Or even an entire city suspended in mid-air, he mused, envisioning a future where gravity was no longer a limitation. Emily's gaze sparkled with anticipation as she chimed in, "And what about transportation? If we could use Broomium to create levitating vehicles, we could revolutionize the way we travel." The prospect of unlocking the ability to control the movement of Broomium filled the team with a sense of awe and wonder. With such power at their fingertips, the possibilities seemed endless. "Imagine," Edward exclaimed, his voice tinged with excitement, "if we could manipulate Broomium to move in any direction we desired. We could revolutionize the entire transportation industry." Chad's eyes lit up with enthusiasm as he envisioned the implications of such a breakthrough. With Broomium-powered vehicles, we could travel at speeds previously unimaginable. Interstellar travel could become a reality, with energy being used solely to maintain the ship's atmosphere. Emily nodded in agreement, her mind racing with possibilities. And it wouldn't just be limited to transportation. With the ability to control Broomium's movement, we could create structures that defy gravity, opening up new frontiers in architecture and construction. As they contemplated the far-reaching implications of their discovery, the team felt a sense of exhilaration at the prospect of unlocking Broomium's full potential. With determination and ingenuity, they were poised to usher in a new era of exploration and innovation. After weeks of tireless experimentation, Chad, Edward, and Emily finally achieved a breakthrough in their quest to control Broomium's movement. Inspired by the unique properties of Broomium and armed with their collective expertise, they devised a special device named as Gravital Controller that harnessed the power of magnetism and electricity. The device, meticulously crafted and finely calibrated, created a controlled electromagnetic field that interacted with the Broomium when its temperature was maintained at precisely 0 degrees Celsius. Through a delicate balance of magnetic forces and electrical currents, they were able to influence the Broomium's movement with unprecedented precision. With bated breath, they activated the device, their eyes fixed on the levitating Broomium. As if responding to their command, the Broomium began to hover, its movement guided by the invisible forces emanating from the device. With each adjustment of the magnetic and electrical settings, they could steer the Broomium in any direction they wished, defying gravity with remarkable ease. Excitement rippled through the lab as Chad, Edward, and Emily marveled at their achievement. They had unlocked the key to controlling Broomium's movement, paving the way for a future where the limits of transportation and construction were bound only by their imagination. As they gazed upon the levitating Broomium, they knew that this moment marked the beginning of a new era of innovation and discovery. With their newfound ability to manipulate Broomium, they were poised to reshape the world in ways they had only dared to dream. With eager anticipation, Chad, Edward, and Emily shared their groundbreaking discovery of controlling Broomium's movement with Hawk and the rest of the team. As they explained the intricacies of their invention and demonstrated its capabilities, excitement filled the room, palpable in the air. Hawk's eyes gleamed with enthusiasm as he grasped the significance of their achievement. He recognized the immense potential that this newfound ability held, not just for their current mission, but for the future of humanity. The rest of the team, gathered around in rapt attention, couldn't contain their excitement. Each member understood the magnitude of what Chad, Edward, and Emily had accomplished, and the possibilities it unlocked for their research and exploration. Amidst the buzz of conversation and the hum of the lab equipment, ideas began to flow freely. Discussions turned to the myriad applications of controlled Broomium movement, from transportation and construction to interstellar travel and beyond. With meticulous precision, the team conducted tests to determine the limits of Broomium's capability to manipulate weight. Using the compression testing machine, they carefully moved the Broomium sample into position, ready to subject it to increasing amounts of weight. As the machine applied pressure to the Broomium, the team watched intently, noting any changes in its behavior. With each incremental increase in weight, the Broomium exhibited remarkable resilience, effortlessly supporting the added mass. Starting with a modest 1 kilogram, they gradually ramped up the weight, pushing the boundaries of what Broomium could withstand. With each step, they marveled at its strength and stability, pushing past conventional limits and surpassing all expectations. As they reached the astonishing milestone of 671 kilograms, the team observed a subtle shift in the Broomium's behavior. Signs of strain began to emerge, and it became clear that the remarkable material was reaching its limits. The team was astounded by the staggering results of the test. With Broomium demonstrating the ability to handle weights exceeding 1,000,000 times its own mass, they realized they had stumbled upon a material of unparalleled strength and potential. 1,274,200 times its own weight. It was a feat that defied all conventional understanding of materials science. As they processed the implications of this extraordinary discovery, excitement rippled through the team. This revelation opened up a world of possibilities, offering the potential to revolutionize industries and transform the very fabric of society. From infrastructure to transportation, construction to exploration, the applications seemed limitless. Emily, just think about it. This discovery could completely revolutionize the transportation industry. With Broomium's incredible strength and the ability to move objects with minimal force, we could see a whole new era of efficient, low-energy transportation. Exactly. It's like hovering technology, but without the need for massive energy consumption. Imagine vehicles that effortlessly glide along, powered by Broomium's unique properties. It could transform how we move goods and people, making transportation more sustainable and cost-effective. And it's not just limited to vehicles. We could use Broomium to build infrastructure that's lighter, stronger, and more resilient than ever before. Bridges, buildings, even entire cities, Broomium could revolutionize the way we design and construct our world. Indeed, the possibilities are endless. With Broomium's potential, we have the opportunity to reshape our society and create a future that's not only more efficient and sustainable, but also more advanced and prosperous. It's an exciting time for all of us. With this newfound knowledge, the team's vision for the future expanded, fueled by the boundless potential of Broomium. As they prepared to embark on the next phase of their research, they were filled with determination and anticipation, eager to unlock the full extent of Broomium's capabilities and usher in a new era of innovation and progress. In that moment, a sense of unity and purpose filled the room as the team realized that they were on the brink of something truly revolutionary. Together, they were poised to chart a new course for humanity, fueled by innovation, discovery, and the limitless potential of Broomium. Emily, we've seen the incredible strength of Broomium, but what about its speed? How fast can we move objects using this technology? That's a good point. The speed of Broomium's movement could determine its practical applications. If we can increase the speed while maintaining control and stability, we could use it for high-speed transportation systems. Agreed. And as for finding more Broomium, perhaps we could start by exploring areas with geological formations similar to where we found the levitating stone. We could also use advanced scanning techniques to search for Broomium deposits beneath the Earth's surface. Yes, expanding our search for Broomium will be crucial. We need to understand its distribution and abundance if we're going to harness its potential on a larger scale. Let's start by gathering more data and exploring our options for acquiring additional samples. Edward experimented with the gravital controller, exploring ways to enhance its energy output and increase the movement of Broomium. After several iterations, he devised a new energy modulation system that allowed for finer control over the gravitational forces exerted on the Broomium. Instead of relying solely on electrical energy, Edward integrated a hybrid energy system that combined electricity with magnetic fields generated by specialized coils within the device. By adjusting the intensity and frequency of these magnetic fields, Edward found that he could finely tune the gravitational pull exerted on the Broomium, enabling smoother and faster movement. Additionally, Edward developed a sophisticated feedback mechanism that monitored the response of the Broomium to the gravitational forces applied by the controller. This feedback loop allowed the device to adapt in real time, optimizing its energy output to match the specific requirements of each movement task. With these modifications, the gravital controller became even more versatile, capable of precisely manipulating Broomium with unprecedented speed and efficiency. Edward's innovation opened up new possibilities for the practical application of Broomium technology in various industries, from transportation to construction and beyond. Edward meticulously designed and developed the outer body for Broomium, envisioning a sleek and aerodynamic form that would optimize its movement capabilities. Inspired by futuristic concepts of transportation, he crafted the outer shell in a circular shape, reminiscent of a streamlined spacecraft. The outer body was constructed using lightweight yet durable materials, carefully chosen to withstand the rigors of high-speed movement while minimizing air resistance. Integrated into the design were advanced sensors strategically placed to provide real-time feedback on Broomium's velocity, trajectory, and environmental conditions. Every aspect of the outer body was meticulously engineered to enhance Broomium's performance and maneuverability. From its smooth curves to its precision-engineered components, Edward's design represented the culmination of his expertise in both mechanical engineering and futuristic technology. With the outer body in place, Edward was eager to put Broomium to the test, pushing its limits to determine the full extent of its speed and agility. As he prepared for the upcoming trials, excitement buzzed through the team, eager to witness the groundbreaking capabilities of their revolutionary invention. Edward, Hawk, team, I've made some modifications to the gravital controller, and I believe we're ready to test the maximum speed at which Broomium can travel. That's fantastic news, Edward. Have you planned out the trajectory for the test? Yes, indeed. I've mapped out a trajectory that takes us beyond Earth's atmosphere into the outer reaches of space. It's a remote location where we won't attract any unwanted attention. Sounds like a solid plan. We need to ensure that we have complete control over Broomium's speed and direction throughout the test. I agree. The last thing we want is for Broomium to veer off course or accelerate beyond our control. Edward, proceed with the test. Keep us updated on your progress and be prepared to make any adjustments as necessary. This could be a significant milestone for our research. Understood, Hawk. I'll begin preparations immediately and initiate the test as soon as everything is in place. With the team in agreement, Edward set out to execute the test, eager to unlock the full potential of Brumium and push the boundaries of their scientific understanding. As Edward steadily increased the speed of Brumium using the modified gravital controller, the team watched intently, anticipation building with each passing moment. Slowly but surely, Brumium began to pick up speed, its motion smooth and controlled. As it reached 1.3 kilometers per second, the team observed in awe as Brumium continued on its planned trajectory, effortlessly gliding through the air and ascending higher into the atmosphere. The sight was nothing short of remarkable, a testament to the incredible potential of this mysterious substance. Hawk and the team exchanged amazed glances, hardly able to believe what they were witnessing. Never before had an object moved with such speed and precision, defying the limits of conventional propulsion methods. "This is incredible," exclaimed Emily, her voice filled with excitement. "Brumium has the potential to revolutionize space travel as we know it." Chad nodded in agreement, his eyes fixed on the screen displaying Brumium's trajectory. "I've never seen anything like it. The possibilities are endless." Hawk watched silently, a sense of pride swelling within him. This was a momentous achievement for their team, a testament to their ingenuity and dedication to pushing the boundaries of scientific exploration. Excited by Brumium's incredible speed and potential for space travel, the team gathered to discuss the possibilities of achieving even greater velocities in the vacuum of space. Chad, his eyes gleaming with excitement, spoke first. "In space, there's no atmosphere to slow us down. We could potentially reach speeds in any direction that were previously unimaginable without the need of gravity assist." Emily nodded in agreement, her mind racing with ideas. "We could optimize gravital controllers' energy output and fine-tune the control mechanisms to maximize efficiency. With enough power, there's no telling how fast we could go." Hawk listened intently, his mind already formulating plans for further experimentation. "We'll need to conduct thorough simulations and tests to ensure the safety and stability of Brumium at higher speeds. But if we can overcome any challenges, the rewards could be astronomical." Edward chimed in, his expression determined. "I'll work on refining the gravital controller and optimizing Brumium's propulsion system for maximum speed. With the right adjustments, I'm confident we can push the limits of space travel like never before." With their goals set and determination renewed, the team set out to embark on the next phase of their journey. Armed with innovation and a spirit of exploration, they were ready to push the boundaries of what was thought possible and unlock the secrets of the cosmos. Chapter 3: Contention. As the team eagerly awaited the results of their analysis on the cosmic particles, the tension in the lab was palpable. Finally, after days of anticipation, the computer screen displayed the findings in stark clarity. "The energy output from the handful of cosmic particles is astonishing," Emily exclaimed, her eyes widening in disbelief as she read the data. "According to these calculations, it's equivalent to powering a city like Tokyo in Japan for eternity." Hawk leaned in closer to the screen, his expression a mixture of awe and excitement. "This is beyond anything we could have imagined. With this much energy at our disposal, we could revolutionize the way we power our world." Chad nodded in agreement, his mind already racing with possibilities. "Imagine the impact this could have on renewable energy, transportation, and technology. We could usher in a new era of innovation and progress." Edward couldn't hide his excitement, a grin spreading across his face. "And with Brumium's incredible properties, we have the means to harness and distribute this energy in ways we never thought possible. The potential is limitless." As the team basked in the excitement of their groundbreaking discovery, Hawk's mind was already racing ahead, grappling with the weight of responsibility that came with their newfound knowledge. While the results were indeed promising, he couldn't shake the feeling of unease that gnawed at him. Leaning back in his chair, Hawk gazed out at the pristine landscape beyond the lab's windows, his thoughts consumed by the implications of their findings. In the midst of a global energy crisis, the revelation of Brumium and cosmic particles held the potential to reshape the world as they knew it. But with that potential came great danger. If the world government catches wind of what we've discovered here, there's no telling what chaos it could unleash, Hawk murmured, his voice heavy with concern. Every nation, every corporation, every individual will be vying for control of brumium and cosmic particles. It could spark a global conflict unlike anything we've ever seen. His words hung heavy in the air, casting a shadow over the jubilant atmosphere of the lab. The team exchanged uneasy glances, each grappling with the gravity of Hawk's warning. We can't afford to let our discovery fall into the wrong hands, Hawk continued, his tone resolute. We need to tread carefully, keep our research under wraps, and ensure that we're the ones who dictate how this power is used. With a shared sense of determination, the team nodded in agreement, understanding the weight of the responsibility that now rested on their shoulders. Hawk's voice cut through the tense silence, his words tinged with a mix of awe and disbelief. It's nothing short of miraculous, isn't it? The way fate has guided us to this moment. His gaze swept across the faces of his team, lingering on each member in turn, as if searching for reassurance in their eyes. Think about it, he continued, his tone growing more animated with each passing word. We were able to uncover the cosmic particle, harness its power, and return safely to the surface of Earth, all against the odds. And then, just when we thought our journey had reached its peak, we stumbled upon brumium, a discovery that could revolutionize the very fabric of our existence. There was a sense of wonderment in his voice, mingled with a hint of disbelief at the sheer improbability of their journey. It's as if the universe itself has conspired to bring us to this moment, he mused, his words hanging heavy in the air. And now, it's up to us to decide what to do with the gifts we've been given. As his words sank in, the team exchanged knowing glances, a shared understanding passing between them. They were acutely aware of the weight of their responsibility, the magnitude of the discoveries they had made, and the pivotal role they now played in shaping the course of history. Hawk's brow furrowed as he posed the question to his team, his voice echoing softly in the confines of the secret lab. What do you think, my friends? Is it wise to reveal our discoveries to the world, or should we continue to nurture them in secret? His gaze swept across the assembled faces, studying each member's reaction with a mix of curiosity and anticipation. There was a palpable tension in the air, a sense of uncertainty as the team grappled with the weighty decision before them. I understand the implications of both options, Hawk continued, his tone measured and contemplative. On one hand, sharing our discoveries could usher in a new era of scientific advancement, benefiting humanity as a whole. But on the other hand, it could also invite chaos and conflict as nations vie for control over these newfound technologies. He paused, allowing his words to sink in as the team exchanged meaningful glances, silently weighing the pros and cons of each path. Ultimately, the decision rests with us, Hawk concluded, his voice tinged with conviction. But whatever we choose, we must proceed with caution, mindful of the consequences of our actions. With that, the team fell into a thoughtful silence, each member lost in their own thoughts as they grappled with the gravity of the decision before them. For in that moment, they held the fate of the world in their hands, and the choices they made would reverberate far beyond the walls of the secret lab. Emily's voice was steady as she began to share her thoughts, her eyes alight with enthusiasm for the potential of their discoveries. I believe that sharing our discoveries with the world could be a transformative step forward for humanity, she began, her words measured yet filled with conviction. Imagine the possibilities, she continued, her gaze sweeping across the room as she spoke. With brumium and cosmic particles, we have the power to revolutionize transportation, energy production, and countless other fields. By sharing our findings, we could usher in a new era of innovation and progress, benefiting people all around the globe. She leaned forward, her expression earnest as she outlined her vision for the future. Think about the impact we could have, she urged, her voice tinged with excitement. We could help alleviate energy shortages, combat climate change, and propel humanity toward a brighter, more sustainable future. The potential is limitless, and by sharing our discoveries, we could inspire others to join us in our quest for progress. As she finished speaking, Emily glanced around the room, her gaze lingering on each team member in turn. Of course, there are risks, she acknowledged, her tone solemn yet resolute. But I believe that the potential rewards far outweigh the dangers. With careful planning and collaboration, we can navigate the challenges ahead and make a positive impact on the world. With that, she fell silent, allowing her words to linger in the air as the team absorbed her impassioned plea for openness and collaboration. Edward's brow furrowed slightly as he began to voice his concerns, his tone measured yet tinged with caution. While I understand the potential benefits of sharing our discoveries with the world, I can't shake the feeling that it might be premature, he started, his gaze thoughtful as he spoke. We still have so much to learn about both brumium and the cosmic particle, he continued, his words measured and deliberate. We've made incredible progress, no doubt, but there's still a lot we don't understand. What if these discoveries were to fall into the wrong hands? What if they were used for nefarious purposes or exploited for personal gain? He paused, allowing his words to sink in before continuing. I believe we have a responsibility to proceed with caution, he urged, his expression earnest. We need to fully comprehend the potential risks and implications of our discoveries before we rush to share them with the world. After all, once the genie is out of the bottle, there's no putting it back in. Edward's eyes met those of his colleagues, his gaze steady as he concluded, until we have a better understanding of these phenomena and can ensure their responsible use, I believe it's best to keep our discoveries within the confines of our team, at least for the time being. Jillian Parker leaned forward, her expression contemplative as she began to voice her thoughts on the matter. As a geologist, I can't help but consider the broader implications of our discoveries, she started, her tone reflective. While the potential applications of brumium and cosmic particle are undoubtedly vast, we mustn't overlook their potential impact on the very fabric of our planet, she continued, her words measured yet earnest. Brumium, with its ability to manipulate gravity, could have far-reaching effects on geological processes, from tectonic activity to the formation of landscapes. She paused, her gaze sweeping over her colleagues before continuing. And let's not forget the cosmic particle, she added, her voice taking on a note of gravitas. Its energy output alone could have profound implications for biological beings, including humans. We simply don't know enough about its properties or potential side effects to risk widespread dissemination. Jillian's expression softened slightly as she concluded, While I'm all for progress and innovation, I believe it's imperative that we proceed with caution. We owe it to ourselves and to future generations to fully understand the ramifications of our discoveries before we unleash them upon the world. Hawk nodded thoughtfully, acknowledging Gillian's perspective. You make an excellent point, Jillian, he remarked, his voice carrying a note of agreement. In our pursuit of progress, we mustn't overlook the potential consequences of our actions, particularly when it comes to matters as fundamental as geology and biology. He turned his gaze to the rest of the team, his expression serious yet contemplative. It's clear that our discoveries have the power to reshape our world in profound ways, he began, his tone measured yet decisive. But before we even consider sharing them with the world, we need to delve deeper into their effects on our planet and its inhabitants. Andrew Cielo nodded in agreement with Hawk and Jillian's points. Our discoveries hold immense potential, but with that potential comes great responsibility. We can't afford to overlook any possible ramifications, especially those concerning the very foundations of our planet and life itself. He paused for a moment, his expression serious yet resolute. Before we make any decisions about sharing our findings with the world, we must ensure that we have a comprehensive understanding of how these discoveries will impact not only our immediate surroundings, but also the broader ecosystem and geological processes, Andrew concluded. With a determined nod, Andrew affirmed his commitment to approaching the situation with caution and diligence. Our responsibility is not just to advance human knowledge, but also to safeguard the well-being of our planet and its inhabitants. Chad Walker leaned forward, his eyes gleaming with excitement as he voiced his perspective. Think about it, guys, he began, his voice filled with fervor. Our discoveries have the potential to revolutionize not just our world, but the entire cosmos. Imagine the possibilities if we share this knowledge with the world. We could propel humanity to new heights, exploring distant planets, harnessing limitless energy, and unlocking the secrets of the universe. His enthusiasm was palpable as he painted a vivid picture of a future where humanity transcended the bounds of Earth. We have a chance to lead humanity into a new era of exploration and discovery, Chad continued, his passion driving his words. Sure, there are risks, but every great endeavor comes with risks. And the rewards, they could be beyond anything we've ever imagined. He glanced around at his colleagues, his expression earnest yet determined. I say we embrace this opportunity and share our discoveries with the world, Chad concluded, his conviction unwavering. Together, we can usher in a new age of progress and possibility for all of humankind. Hawk leaned back in his chair, his expression grave as he considered Chad's words. Chad, I admire your ambition and your optimism, he began, his voice steady yet tinged with concern. But we can't ignore the potential consequences of sharing this knowledge with the world. He met Chad's gaze, his eyes reflecting the weight of his words. The truth is, Chad, as soon as the world learns of our discoveries, chaos will ensue, Hawk continued, his tone somber. Governments, corporations, and individuals will vie for control of brumium and the cosmic particle. It won't be about space exploration or the betterment of humanity. It'll be about power, greed, and control. Hawk's words hung heavy in the air as he emphasized the gravity of the situation. We've seen how the world reacts to new technologies and resources, he added, his voice tinged with regret. And more often than not, it leads to conflict, exploitation, and suffering. He paused, his gaze sweeping over his team members, each one lost in their own thoughts. I'm not saying we should keep our discoveries hidden forever, Hawk continued, his voice firm. But we need to proceed with caution, to fully understand the implications of what we've found before we decide how and when to share it with the world. With a heavy sigh, he concluded, our priority should be to ensure that our discoveries are used for the benefit of all humanity, not to fuel conflict or advance personal agendas. Chad leaned forward, his expression earnest as he voiced his concerns. Hawk, I understand your reservations. I really do, he began, his voice tinged with frustration. But how long do we keep this discovery hidden from the world? A year? 5 years? A decade? He met Hawk's gaze, his eyes searching for answers. We can't keep the truth locked away forever, Chad continued, his tone impassioned. Humanity deserves to know about brumium and the cosmic particle. We can't deny them the chance to benefit from these discoveries. His voice rose with conviction as he spoke. Yes, there will be challenges and risks, Chad acknowledged, his hands gesturing emphatically. But that's no reason to keep the truth hidden. We have a responsibility to share our knowledge, to push the boundaries of human understanding. Chad's gaze swept over the team, his determination evident in every word. We can't let fear dictate our actions, he declared, his voice unwavering. We have to trust in humanity's ability to use these discoveries for good, to overcome the challenges that lie ahead. He paused, his eyes meeting Hawk's once more. So I ask you, Hawk, Chad concluded, his voice resolute. Until when do we keep hiding the truth from the world? Hawk's gaze shifted from Chad to the rest of the team, his expression thoughtful yet resolute. Chad, your passion and determination are admirable, he began, his voice steady and measured. And I understand your desire to share our discoveries with the world, but we must proceed with caution. He paused, allowing his words to sink in before continuing. As leaders, it's our responsibility to consider not just the potential benefits, but also the potential risks, Hawk explained, his tone calm yet firm. We need to ensure that any knowledge we share is used responsibly and for the betterment of humanity. Hawk's eyes met Chad's once more, a hint of warmth in his gaze. Rest assured, Chad, we won't keep the truth hidden indefinitely, he assured, his voice carrying the weight of his convictions. As soon as we have developed a safe and reliable byproduct, we will reveal it to the world. He turned to address the entire team, his voice carrying authority, yet also a sense of unity. But until then, we must continue our research, ensuring that we fully understand the implications of our discoveries, Hawk declared, his words echoing in the quiet of the lab. Only then can we move forward with confidence, knowing that we are making the right choice for humanity. With that, Hawk's gaze swept over the team once more, a silent reassurance that they were all in this together, navigating the complexities of discovery and responsibility as one cohesive unit. With a newfound sense of determination, the team members set to work, their minds abuzz with ideas and possibilities. Chad's initial skepticism had been replaced by a shared sense of purpose, fueled by Hawk's words of guidance and reassurance. Emily, with her keen analytical mind, began delving into the data from their experiments, searching for patterns and insights that could lead to a breakthrough. Edward and Gillian collaborated on refining the gravital controller, fine-tuning its capabilities to harness the power of brumium more efficiently. Meanwhile, Andrew dove deeper into the mysteries of the cosmic particle, exploring its potential applications and implications for energy generation. Days passed, the lab hummed with activity, each team member contributing their expertise and ingenuity to the collective effort. Despite the challenges and uncertainties ahead, there was an undeniable sense of optimism in the air, a shared belief that they were on the cusp of something truly revolutionary. Together, they worked tirelessly, driven by the knowledge that their discoveries could reshape the future of humanity and usher in a new era of progress and innovation. And as they continued their research, their resolve only grew stronger, fueled by the possibility of making a lasting impact on the world. Suddenly, the simulation results appeared on the screen, displaying the transformative properties of planadium in response to cosmic particles. The team members gathered around in awe. Emily's eyes widened with excitement, recognizing the potential implications of their discovery. Edward let out a low whistle, impressed by the sheer magnitude of planadium's energy replication capabilities. Gillian Parker nodded in approval, his mind already racing with thoughts of how this breakthrough could revolutionize the world's energy landscape. Andrew Cielo couldn't suppress a grin, marveling at the elegance of nature's design and the intricate interplay between cosmic particles and planadium. Even Chad, who had been skeptical about the team's decision to keep their discoveries secret, couldn't help but be swept up in the excitement, realizing the magnitude of what they had stumbled upon. In the confines of the secret lab, the team gathered around the computer screen, their eyes fixed on the intricate simulations unfolding before them. Theoretical equations danced across the display, depicting the hypothetical interaction between planadium and cosmic particles, a phenomenon that had yet to be observed firsthand. As the simulation progressed, Hawk leaned forward, his gaze intense as he absorbed every detail. The equations predicted a remarkable transformation, one that held the promise of unlocking a new era of energy production. According to the simulations, when planadium came into contact with cosmic particles, a catalytic reaction would occur, triggering a cascade of energy release unlike anything seen before. Emily, her curiosity piqued, studied the simulations intently, her mind racing with possibilities. "Imagine the implications," she murmured, her voice barely above a whisper. "If these calculations hold true, planadium could provide a virtually limitless source of energy, one that could power entire cities for decades." Edward, ever the pragmatist, raised a skeptical eyebrow. "But theoretical simulations can only take us so far," he cautioned. "Until we have planadium in our hands and can observe its properties firsthand, we can't be certain of the outcome." Hawk nodded in agreement, acknowledging the uncertainty that still shrouded their discovery. "Indeed," he conceded, "but the potential is undeniable. If planadium truly possesses the ability to replicate cosmic particles and generate energy on a massive scale, it could revolutionize the way we power our world." As the team continued to dissect the simulations and speculate on the implications of their discovery, a sense of excitement filled the air. Forged in the crucible of scientific inquiry and fueled by the boundless potential of the unknown, their journey had only just begun. And with each new revelation, they edged closer to unlocking the secrets of planadium and reshaping the future of humanity. Hawk, ever the steady presence, surveyed the scene with a sense of pride and satisfaction. This was the moment they had been working toward, the culmination of countless hours of research and collaboration. And as he looked around at his team, he knew that together, they had unlocked the key to solving one of the greatest challenges facing humanity. As the team delved deeper into their research, they soon encountered a sobering realization. While planadium held immense potential to solve the world's energy crisis, it was also exceedingly rare. Discovered during a second manned mission to the Moon in 2036, planadium had remained largely overlooked and unused due to the prevailing focus on Earth-bound energy sources. The simulation data revealed that planadium's unique properties made it an ideal candidate for harnessing the power of cosmic particles, offering a renewable energy solution that could sustain the planet for decades to come. However, its scarcity presented a formidable challenge, as the mineral was only found in significant quantities on the lunar surface. This posed a dilemma for the team. While they had identified a solution to the world's energy woes, obtaining a sufficient supply of planadium would require a renewed focus on space exploration, a prospect that seemed daunting in the face of the Earth's ongoing energy crisis. Nevertheless, the team remained undeterred. With their sights set on the Moon and the promise of planadium shimmering on the horizon, they knew that they had to push forward, driven by the belief that their discovery held the key to a brighter future for humanity. The realization that planadium lay beyond the grasp of Earth sent a ripple of frustration through the team. Despite their groundbreaking discoveries and the promise of a solution to the world's energy crisis, they found themselves once again confronted by the harsh reality of their limitations. Hawk, his brow furrowed in deep thought, paced the length of the lab as he wrestled with the implications of their predicament. "We've come so far," he mused, his voice tinged with a hint of resignation. "But without access to planadium, our efforts may have been in vain." Emily, ever the optimist, refused to be deterred by the setback. "There must be a way," she insisted, her eyes alight with determination. "We've overcome countless obstacles before. We just need to think outside the box." Edward nodded in agreement, his mind already racing with possibilities. "Perhaps there's a way to acquire planadium without physically retrieving it from the Moon," he suggested, his voice laced with excitement. "We could explore alternative methods of extraction or harnessing its energy remotely." Chad, his eyes ablaze with fervor, interjected with a bold proposal. "What if we launch a new mission to the Moon?" he proposed, his voice ringing with conviction. "We could send a team to retrieve samples of planadium and bring them back to Earth for further study." Hawk considered Chad's suggestion carefully, weighing the risks and rewards of such a daring endeavor. "It's a risky proposition," he conceded, his tone measured. Chad's words rang with a resolute determination, his gaze unwavering as he addressed the team. "We've faced incredible challenges before," he declared, his voice tinged with conviction. "We ventured to the Earth's core and returned triumphant. If we can accomplish that, then surely we have the courage and capability to embark on a mission to the Moon." His words sparked a flicker of hope in the hearts of his colleagues, reigniting their sense of purpose in the face of adversity. Emily nodded in agreement, her eyes shining with newfound determination. "Chad's right," she affirmed, her voice steady. "We may not be astronauts, but we're pioneers in our own right. We've pushed the boundaries of what's possible before, and we can do it again." Edward, ever the pragmatist, raised a practical concern. "But launching a mission to the Moon will require careful planning and resources," he cautioned, his brow furrowed in thought. "We'll need to consider every detail, from the logistics of the journey to the safety of the team." Hawk listened intently to their discussion, his mind already whirring with possibilities. "It won't be easy," he acknowledged, his tone measured. "But if there's a chance that retrieving planadium could solve the world's energy crisis, then it's a risk worth taking." Edward's voice cut through the discussion like a knife, his tone laced with skepticism. "Mining planadium isn't going to be a walk in the park," he pointed out, his brow furrowed in concern. "We're scientists and doctors, not miners. And we're talking about doing this in a space-like environment with all the challenges that entails." His words hung heavy in the air, casting a shadow of doubt over their plans. Emily glanced around at her colleagues, seeing the uncertainty mirrored in their expressions. She knew Edward had a point. Mining was a specialized task that required expertise, experience, and equipment they simply didn't possess. "It's true," she admitted, her voice tinged with uncertainty. "Mining on the moon is a whole different ballgame. We're going to need more than just determination to pull this off." Hawk nodded thoughtfully, his mind already racing with possible solutions. "Edward's right," he conceded, his tone serious. "But we've never been ones to back down from a challenge. We'll need to assemble a team with the necessary skills and experience and equip them with the tools they'll need to succeed." Chad's voice broke the silence, his tone laced with concern. "How do we even begin to assemble a team for space mining, let alone acquire the equipment we'll need?" he asked, his brow furrowed in thought. "We can't exactly ask for help from the outside world, given the secrecy of our operation. So what other options do we have?" The question hung in the air, the weight of their predicament settling heavily upon them. They were scientists and doctors, not engineers or astronauts. The task ahead seemed insurmountable, and the prospect of navigating it alone felt daunting. After a moment of tense silence, Hawk spoke up, his voice steady despite the uncertainty that lingered in the air. "As much as it pains me to admit it, Chad is right," he conceded, his gaze sweeping across the room. "We can't do this alone. We're going to need help, both in terms of expertise and resources." Chapter 4: The World as We Know It. With determination etched on his face, Hawk turned to his team, his eyes meeting each member's gaze with unwavering resolve. "We will reveal our discovery to the world," he declared, his voice carrying the weight of his conviction. "But we will do it on our terms. We will control the narrative and ensure that our research remains safe, and we will succeed, no matter the obstacles in our path." The team nodded in agreement, their faith in Hawk's leadership unshaken. They knew that this decision would change the course of history, and they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Hawk wasted no time and immediately began to formulate a plan. "We cannot conduct a press conference from our secret lab," he explained. "It would reveal our location and put our research in jeopardy. Instead, we will reach out to Sean. He will help us organize a press conference on neutral ground where we can unveil our discovery to the world." "We will tell the world about Planadium," Hawk declared, his voice steady and resolute. "It is the key to solving our energy crisis, and we will show them how we can modify it to meet our needs." Hawk's plan unfolded with precision as he made preparations for his surprise visit to meet Sean. He and Emily embarked on his personal boat, navigating the calm waters surrounding the island with practiced ease. As they sailed, Hawk's mind raced with thoughts of the press conference and the weight of their responsibility to the world. But amidst the chaos of his thoughts, one thing remained clear. Their discovery of Planadium held the key to solving the world's energy crisis. Emily, ever the steadfast companion, remained by Hawk's side, her presence a reassuring anchor in the sea of uncertainty. Together they charted a course towards their destination, their determination unwavering despite the risks that lay ahead. Days passed in tense anticipation until finally the silhouette of land appeared on the horizon, signaling their arrival at their destination. With practiced skill, Hawk guided the boat to a secluded dock, ensuring their arrival went unnoticed by prying eyes. Together they retreated to a secluded location where they could strategize in secrecy, away from prying eyes. Upon their return, Hawk and Emily were met with a stark reality, vastly different from the bustling world they remembered. As they ventured into the city, they found the streets eerily deserted, devoid of the usual hustle and bustle. The once vibrant cityscape now lay shrouded in darkness, with a noticeable shortage of light emanating from homes, buildings, and street lamps alike. The sky above was obscured by thick clouds, a result of the increased levels of CO2 emissions in the atmosphere. The air felt heavy and stifling, a far cry from the crisp clarity they had grown accustomed to during their time away. It was evident that the energy crisis had taken its toll on the world, leaving behind a landscape marked by scarcity and uncertainty. Where there was once resilience and adaptability, now lay a palpable sense of desolation and despair. As they traversed the desolate streets, Hawk and Emily couldn't help but feel a pang of remorse for the world they had returned to. It was clear that their mission to solve the energy crisis had taken on an even greater urgency in the face of such widespread hardship. Hawk and Emily navigated the empty streets on foot, keeping to the shadows to avoid drawing attention to themselves. The absence of any available transportation was a stark reminder of the severity of the energy crisis gripping the world. As they made their way towards Sean's office, their steps echoing in the quiet streets, they noticed a lone figure riding a horse in the distance. It was a sight straight out of history books, a throwback to a bygone era when horses were a common mode of transportation. The man on the horse passed by them, his presence a surreal juxtaposition against the backdrop of modern-day infrastructure. It was a poignant reminder of the drastic changes the world had undergone in the wake of the energy crisis. Hawk and Emily exchanged a glance, silently acknowledging the strange turn of events. It was clear that the world was reverting to simpler, more sustainable means of transportation out of necessity. Hawk and Emily arrived at Sean's office building, a familiar sight that stood adjacent to Hawk's own office. With practiced ease, they made their way to a discreet entrance known only to a select few, bypassing any security personnel that might have been stationed at the main entrances. As they slipped inside, Hawk's intimate knowledge of the building's layout and security measures proved invaluable. He deftly navigated the corridors and passageways, his confident strides leading them towards their destination without encountering any obstacles. Their progress remained unhindered as they made their way deeper into the heart of the building, their footsteps echoing softly against the polished floors. With each passing moment, they drew closer to Sean's office, their anticipation mounting with every step. Finally, they reached their destination, standing before the door to Sean's office. With a subtle nod to Emily, Hawk inputted a series of passcodes with practiced precision, unlocking the door and granting them access. As Hawk swung open the door to Sean's office, he found Sean hunched over his desk, engrossed in his work with unwavering focus. Without missing a beat, Hawk's casual remark broke the silence of the room. "Sean, the security at this building is not that tight," he quipped, a hint of amusement lacing his tone. Sean looked up from his work, his eyes widening in surprise at the unexpected intrusion. But as his gaze met Hawk's, a flood of emotions washed over him, leaving him momentarily speechless. Tears welled up in Sean's eyes as he took in the sight of Hawk standing before him, alive and well. It had been too long since they last saw each other, and the relief of knowing that his friend was safe and sound was almost overwhelming. With a choked laugh, Sean rose from his seat, crossing the room in quick strides to embrace Hawk in a tight hug. The weight of their reunion hung in the air, a tangible reminder of the bond that had endured despite the passage of time and the challenges they had faced. For a moment, they simply stood there, lost in the embrace of friendship and camaraderie. It was a moment of quiet solace amidst the chaos of their mission, a reminder that no matter what obstacles lay ahead, they would always have each other's backs. Hawk's words hung in the air as he revealed to Sean that he had been receiving his messages all along. Sean's surprise quickly gave way to a sense of relief, knowing that their lines of communication had remained open despite the challenges they faced. With a solemn nod, Hawk leaned in closer, his voice low and urgent. "Sean, we need to go somewhere outside the office where no one can track us. We have sensitive matters to discuss, and I can't risk any leaks." Sean understood the gravity of the situation and nodded in agreement. "I know just the place," he replied, his tone tinged with determination. "Follow me." Together, they slipped out of Sean's office, moving swiftly and silently through the corridors of the building. Sean led the way. They emerged into the crisp night air, the sounds of the city fading into the distance as they made their way to a secluded spot away from prying eyes and listening ears. In the shadow of a nearby alley, they found refuge from the ever-watchful gaze of surveillance cameras and eavesdropping devices. Once they were certain they were alone, Hawk and Sean settled into a quiet corner, their voices lowered to a whisper as they delved into the depths of their conversation. It was here, in the sanctuary of secrecy, that they could speak freely and without fear of repercussions. Hawk wasted no time in getting down to business. He leaned in close to Sean, his voice barely above a whisper, as he divulged the secrets that had been kept hidden for so long. "Sean, listen carefully," he began, his words laden with urgency. "The team and I have been staying at the secret island where we conducted groundbreaking research. We journeyed to the Earth's core and extracted cosmic particles, unlocking their untapped potential." Sean's eyes widened in astonishment at the revelation, his mind racing to comprehend the magnitude of their discovery. "But that's not all," Hawk continued, his tone grave yet resolute. "During our time on the island, we also came across a remarkable substance known as brumium. It possesses incredible properties, including the ability to levitate and carry immense weight." As Sean absorbed this new information, Hawk pressed on, his voice unwavering. "But perhaps the most crucial discovery we made is regarding planadium. It's a mineral found only on the surface of the moon, with the potential to solve humanity's energy crisis once and for all." He paused, allowing the weight of his words to sink in before delivering the final blow. "Sean, we need to mine planadium from the moon's surface, but we require resources and manpower to make it happen. It's our best chance at securing a sustainable future for generations to come." Sean's expression shifted from awe to realization as he grasped the enormity of the task ahead. "So, we need to mine planadium from the moon and bring it back to Earth," he surmised, his mind racing with the implications of their plan. Hawk nodded solemnly. "Exactly. But there's a catch. Planadium will only work when in contact with cosmic energy particles." Hawk leaned in closer, his voice tinged with caution as he imparted his next revelation to Sean. "Listen, Sean, we can't reveal everything to the world just yet," he began, his tone serious and measured. "We need to exercise caution and discretion in what we disclose." Sean nodded, understanding the gravity of their situation. "Agreed," he replied, his voice echoing Hawk's solemnity. "So what's the plan?" Hawk took a moment to gather his thoughts before continuing. "We'll tell the world about planadium," he explained, his gaze unwavering. "It's our key to solving humanity's energy crisis, but we'll keep the existence of cosmic particles under wraps." Sean furrowed his brow in contemplation. "Why not reveal everything?" he asked, a hint of confusion in his voice. Hawk sighed, knowing the risks involved. "If the world gets wind of the cosmic particles, it could lead to chaos," he explained. "We've seen firsthand the power they possess, and if that knowledge falls into the wrong hands, it could spell disaster." Sean nodded in understanding, the weight of their decision settling heavily upon him. "So we proceed with caution," he concluded, his resolve firm. "We'll focus on securing the planadium and bringing it back to Earth, one step at a time." Hawk offered a reassuring smile. "Exactly," he affirmed. "We'll keep our cards close to the chest and reveal only what's necessary. It's the only way to ensure the safety and stability of our world." Hawk's gaze bore into Sean's, his words carrying a sense of urgency and determination. "We need to set up a press conference to announce the discovery of planadium to the world, but it needs to be done in a private location where we can ensure our safety." Sean nodded in understanding, his mind already racing with potential venues and logistics. "I'll handle the arrangements," he replied, his tone resolute. "We'll find a secure location where we can control access and minimize any potential risks." Hawk's expression softened with gratitude. "Thank you, Sean. But there's one more thing," he continued, his voice lowering to a confidential tone. "You need to lead the press conference. I'll join as a surprise guest, but no one can know about our involvement until the moment of the announcement." Sean's eyes widened in surprise at the unexpected request, but he nodded in agreement. "Understood," he affirmed, his determination unwavering. "I'll make sure everything is in place for the press conference, and we'll keep your involvement under wraps until the right moment." Hawk asks Sean if he and Emily can secure a place to stay where they can keep a low profile. "Hawk," Sean replied, "I'll arrange for a safe house where you and Emily can lay low until the press conference. It'll be off the grid, completely secure." Hawk nodded in gratitude. "Thank you, Sean. We need to stay under the radar until the right moment." Sean wasted no time in putting his plan into action. Leveraging his extensive network of contacts, he secured a private national television station for the press conference. It was a location known for its discretion and reliability, ensuring that their message would reach a wide audience while maintaining the necessary level of security. With the venue secured, Sean set about coordinating the logistics of the event, ensuring that every detail was meticulously planned. From security protocols to media arrangements, he left no stone unturned in his quest to make the press conference a success. As word of the event spread, anticipation began to build among the public and the media alike. The prospect of a solution to the world's energy crisis captured the imagination of people around the globe, and the press conference promised to be a pivotal moment in history. As the day of the press conference dawned, the world held its breath in anticipation. In a time when energy resources were dwindling and the future seemed uncertain, all eyes turned to the Hawk Corporation for a glimmer of hope. The venue was abuzz with activity as journalists, dignitaries, and curious onlookers gathered to witness the historic event. The air crackled with excitement and apprehension, the weight of expectations heavy upon the shoulders of all who attended. Among the crowd, whispers of speculation and rumor swirled, fueled by the knowledge of Hawk and Sean's clandestine mission to the Earth's core. Their names had become synonymous with innovation and daring, their exploits the subject of fervent debate and speculation within the scientific community. As Sean stepped up to the podium, the room fell into a hushed silence, all eyes fixed upon him in anticipation. The weight of the world's expectations hung heavy in the air, as everyone awaited the revelation that promised to change the course of history. "Ladies and gentlemen," Sean began, his voice clear and steady, "thank you for joining us today. We stand on the brink of a monumental moment, one that has the potential to reshape the future of humanity." He paused for a moment, allowing his words to sink in before continuing. "For too long, our world has been plagued by the scourge of energy scarcity. But today, I stand before you to offer a ray of hope, a solution born from the tireless efforts of the brilliant minds at the Hawk Corporation." A murmur of curiosity rippled through the crowd as Sean set the stage for the revelation to come. 2 years ago, he continued, news of Hawk's clandestine mission reached the scientific community, sparking a maelstrom of debates and apprehensions. But today, we stand united in our quest to overcome the challenges that have plagued us for far too long. With a sense of gravitas, Sean gestured towards the screen behind him, where images and data began to flash across the display. "Our journey has led us to the discovery of a remarkable mineral known as palladium," he announced, his voice brimming with excitement. "This mineral has the potential to revolutionize the way we power our world." As the audience leaned in, captivated by Sean's words, he continued, "Hawk Corporation has developed a groundbreaking solution. Just 1 kilogram of palladium has the power to sustain an entire city like Tokyo for 2 decades. The room erupted into murmurs of astonishment and awe as the implications of Sean's revelations sank in. The magnitude of their discovery was staggering, promising a future where energy scarcity was a thing of the past. As the excitement and anticipation swirled in the room, the audience members eagerly raised their hands, eager to pose their questions about palladium. Sean nodded, acknowledging the flurry of inquiries, and opened the floor for discussion. One eager journalist stood up, their voice echoing through the room as they asked, "Why has palladium never been found until now? What has changed?" Sean fielded the question with poise, his expression thoughtful as he considered his response. "Palladium's discovery is a testament to the tireless efforts of our research team," he began, his voice steady. "It's true that this mineral has eluded detection until now, but advancements in technology and our deepening understanding of its energy have allowed us to unlock its potential." Another attendee chimed in, their curiosity piqued. "If palladium is so powerful, why haven't we started mining it already?" As the attendee's question hung in the air, a hush fell over the room, anticipation building as everyone awaited Sean's response. But just as Sean opened his mouth to reply, the doors at the back of the room swung open, and a figure stepped into the spotlight. All eyes turned towards the newcomer, and a collective gasp rippled through the audience as they recognized the familiar face of Alexander Hawk. The room fell into stunned silence as Hawk strode confidently to the front of the room, his presence commanding attention. With a knowing smile, Hawk turned to face the audience, his gaze sweeping over the crowd. "I couldn't let Sean have all the fun," he quipped, his voice carrying a hint of amusement. The audience erupted into applause and murmurs of astonishment at the unexpected appearance of the renowned scientist and businessman. But Hawk wasted no time in addressing the attendees' question head-on. "Why haven't we started mining planadium already?" he repeated, his tone measured yet authoritative. "The answer is simple. Planadium is not found on Earth. It's located on the surface of the moon." A ripple of astonishment swept through the audience at Hawk's revelation, their minds struggling to comprehend the enormity of his statement. Planadium on the moon? It was a revelation that promised to reshape the landscape of space exploration and energy production as they knew it. Hawk continued, his words carrying a weight of significance. "Mining planadium from the moon presents unique challenges, but it also offers unprecedented opportunities. With the right technology and resources, we have the potential to unlock a new era of sustainable energy production for humanity." As the implications of Hawk's revelation sank in, the audience sat in stunned silence, their minds racing with the possibilities that lay ahead. It was a moment that would go down in history, a turning point in humanity's quest for a brighter future, powered by the boundless energy of planadium. "As we stand on the cusp of this monumental discovery," Hawk continued, his voice resonating with determination, "we recognize that the journey ahead will not be easy. Mining planadium from the moon is a formidable task that will require the collective effort of the global community." He turned his gaze towards the assembled audience, his eyes locking with those of world leaders and representatives seated among them. "That's why we need the help of the world government," he declared, his words carrying the weight of conviction. "We need manpower, resources, and skills to make this vision a reality." The room buzzed with a renewed sense of purpose as Hawk outlined his call to action. It was a moment of unity and solidarity as nations set aside their differences in pursuit of a common goal, securing the future of humanity. "We cannot do this alone," Hawk emphasized, his voice ringing with urgency. "But together we have the power to change the course of history. Let us join forces and embark on this journey together for the betterment of all mankind." With those words, Hawk concluded his address, leaving the audience inspired and invigorated by the possibilities that lay ahead. As the audience erupted into a flurry of questions, Hawk remained poised, ready to address their inquiries with clarity and insight. One attendee raised their hand, their voice cutting through the din of voices. "Can you elaborate on the process of mining planadium from the moon?" they asked, their curiosity palpable. Hawk nodded, acknowledging the importance of the question. "Mining planadium from the moon presents a unique set of challenges," he began, his tone measured. "But with advancements in space exploration technology, we believe it is feasible. Our team is currently exploring various methods, including robotic mining and extraction techniques, to safely and efficiently retrieve planadium from the lunar surface." Another audience member chimed in, their question directed towards Hawk's extraordinary journey to the Earth's core. "Can you tell us more about your expedition to the Earth's core?" they asked, their eyes alight with fascination. Hawk's expression softened with reminiscence as he recalled the harrowing journey. "Our expedition to the Earth's core was a testament to human ingenuity and determination," he replied, his voice tinged with reverence. "It was a journey fraught with peril, but one that ultimately led to the discovery of planadium, a breakthrough that paved the way for our current endeavors." The next question came from a reporter at the back of the room, their voice projecting with clarity despite the crowded space. "Mr. Hawk, how do you propose we undertake a mission to the moon when we're facing so many energy crisis issues here on Earth?" they asked, their skepticism evident. Hawk listened carefully to the question, recognizing the validity of the concerns raised. "It's a valid question," he acknowledged, his voice steady. "While it's true that we're facing energy crisis issues here on Earth, it's precisely because of these challenges that our mission to the moon is more critical than ever." He paused, allowing his words to sink in before continuing. "By harnessing the power of planadium, we have the potential to not only address our energy needs here on Earth, but also to propel ourselves into a new era of space exploration," he he explained. The resources and technology developed as part of this endeavor will not only benefit our efforts to mine planadium, but also contribute to sustainable energy solutions right here at home. As Hawk was addressing the audience, his words resonating with conviction and hope, a sudden commotion erupted at the back of the room. The sound of heavy footsteps echoed through the hall as a group of police officers burst into the room, their expressions stern and determined. The audience gasped in surprise as the officers swiftly made their way towards the stage, their movements purposeful and resolute. Before anyone could react, they reached out and placed restraints on both Hawk and Sean, their actions sending shockwaves through the room. "What's going on?" someone shouted from the crowd, their voice tinged with alarm and confusion. Hawk's expression remained composed, even as he was led away by the officers. "Stay calm, everyone," he called out to the audience, his voice a reassuring presence amidst the chaos. "We'll sort this out." But as Hawk and Sean were escorted from the room, the atmosphere shifted, the sense of uncertainty hanging heavy in the air. The press conference had been derailed, its purpose overshadowed by the sudden intrusion of law enforcement. As the audience watched in stunned silence, the doors at the back of the room swung shut, leaving behind a palpable sense of tension and uncertainty. What had prompted this unexpected turn of events, and what would it mean for the future of their mission? As the news of Hawk's arrest spread like wildfire through the audience, reporters wasted no time in speculating about the possible reasons behind the sudden and dramatic turn of events. With pens poised and cameras rolling, they began crafting their own theories, each one more sensational than the last. One reporter, his voice tinged with skepticism, leaned towards his microphone and began to weave a narrative of corporate conspiracy. Could it be that Hawk's groundbreaking discoveries posed a threat to powerful interests? He mused, his words heavy with implication. Perhaps there are forces at play that will stop at nothing to maintain the status quo. Across the room, another reporter furiously scribbled notes, her mind racing with possibilities. "I can't help but wonder if Hawk stumbled upon something he wasn't supposed to," she speculated, her eyes darting from face to face in search of answers. Maybe there are secrets buried beneath the surface, secrets that someone is desperate to keep hidden. Meanwhile, a third reporter, known for his penchant for conspiracy theories, leaned in close to his camera, his voice low and conspiratorial. "What if Hawk's arrest is just the tip of the iceberg?" he whispered, his eyes gleaming with excitement. "Perhaps there's a larger conspiracy at play, one that goes all the way to the top. Who knows what dark truths lie waiting to be uncovered?" As the reporters traded theories and speculation, the audience listened intently, their minds awash with possibilities. With each passing moment, the mystery surrounding Hawk's arrest deepened, leaving everyone to wonder what secrets lay hidden beneath the surface and what revelations awaited them in the days to come. As they made their way through the labyrinthine corridors of the building, Sean glanced around cautiously, ensuring they were out of earshot before speaking. "Hawk," he began, his voice low and urgent. "The police that just took us into custody were a dummy security team arranged by me." Hawk's eyebrows shot up in surprise, his mind racing to process Sean's revelation. "What do you mean, Sean?" he asked, a note of confusion creeping into his voice. Sean quickly filled him in on the details, his words tumbling out in a rush. "I received word that the real police were on their way to arrest you," he explained, his tone grave. "I knew we needed to act fast, so I arranged for a decoy security team to intercept us first. It bought us some time to come up with a plan." Hawk nodded, his mind whirling with the implications of Sean's actions. "So, where do we go from here?" he asked, his voice tinged with urgency. Sean's expression hardened with determination as he outlined their next steps. "We need to lay low for now," he replied, his voice resolute. Hawk's brow furrowed in confusion as Sean directed the security guards towards the docks. "Why the docks?" he asked, his voice tinged with uncertainty. Sean's gaze flickered with determination as he turned to face Hawk. "It's best if you head back to the secret lab," he explained, his tone measured. "Emily is already waiting for you there on the boat." Hawk's eyes widened in surprise at the unexpected turn of events. "Emily?" he repeated. "What's she doing there?" Sean offered a reassuring smile. "I'll explain everything," he replied, his voice steady. "But for now, trust me, we need to get you back to safety." As they made their way towards the boat, Sean's explanation hung heavy in the air, each word carrying the weight of their precarious situation. "I received a tip that the police were on their way to arrest you," he began, his voice low and urgent. "If that happened, we would have lost all our research, just like how your family business was taken over by the world government." Hawk's jaw tightened at the reminder of his family's fate, the memory still raw and painful. "I understand," he replied, his voice tinged with resignation. "But what's our next move?" Sean's expression hardened with determination as he outlined his plan. "I'll drop you off at the boat, and then I'll go my own separate way," he explained, his tone resolute. "I'll keep giving you information once you reach the island, but for now, it's best if we lay low and regroup." As they continued on their journey towards the waiting boat, Hawk couldn't shake the feeling of unease that settled over him like a heavy shroud. "The world has changed so much," he remarked, his voice tinged with sadness. "It seems like everyone is just trying to meet their daily needs, and politics has reached new heights of instability. It's as if each country is fighting for survival on its own." Sean nodded in agreement, his expression grave. "You're right," he replied, his tone somber. "The world government itself seems to be under the control of someone, and it's become increasingly difficult to discern friend from foe." Hawk's brow furrowed in concern as he considered the implications of Sean's words. "Is that why you took extra precautions for my safeguard?" he asked, his voice laced with apprehension. Sean nodded solemnly. "Yes," he admitted. "With the world knowing about Planadium, every government agency will be on the lookout for you. It's not just your safety that's at stake. It's the future of our research and the fate of humanity." Hawk furrowed his brow, his mind grappling with the mysteries surrounding the Planadium data in the secret lab. "But how did the data end up in our secret lab?" he inquired, his voice tinged with curiosity. Sean paused for a moment, organizing his thoughts before replying. "The data was actually given to Hawk Corporation after the manned mission to the moon in 2036, he explained, his tone thoughtful. "The scanners on the moon transmitted the data to the Moon Exploration Agency, MEA, and since Hawk Corporation was the world's leading energy generation company at the time, MEA forwarded the data to us." Hawk nodded, absorbing the information. It made sense that their company would have been chosen to receive such crucial data, given their expertise in energy generation and exploration. But then a nagging question lingered in Hawk's mind. "Did MEA ever bring Planadium back to Earth?" he asked, his curiosity piqued. Sean hesitated, his expression thoughtful. "Not that we know of," he replied, his voice tinged with uncertainty. "The data we received was primarily focused on the composition and potential energy capabilities of Planadium. As for actual samples of the mineral, it's possible that MEA may have conducted further research, but nothing was ever confirmed or made public." Hawk nodded in understanding, a sense of clarity washing over him. "That explains why the secret lab was able to access Planadium's data," he acknowledged, his voice tinged with realization. "It all makes sense now." As Sean and Hawk stepped onto the deck of the boat, they were greeted by the sight of Emily standing ready at the helm, her expression resolute as she prepared for departure. The gentle sway of the waves beneath them served as a reminder of the tumultuous journey that lay ahead. Sean turned to face Hawk, his gaze unwavering. "I'll continue transmitting information to the secret lab," he assured him, his voice steady. "And I've provided you with a phone for emergencies. It's untraceable, so use it only if absolutely necessary." In a world where every move was scrutinized and monitored, having an untraceable means of communication could prove invaluable. Sean's next words carried a weight of uncertainty as he glanced out at the horizon. "Let's wait and see if the world is ready to help us," he said, his voice tinged with resignation. It was a sobering reminder of the challenges they faced and the uncertain future that lay ahead. As the boat cut through the waves, Hawk and Emily found themselves enveloped in a sea of uncertainty. Hawk turned to Emily, his expression grave. "Do you think the world will help us, or have we only caused more chaos?" he asked, his voice heavy with doubt. Emily met his gaze with a steady resolve, her eyes reflecting the flickering light of determination that burned within her. "It's hard to say," she replied, her voice tinged with uncertainty. "But one thing is certain, we've ignited a firestorm of curiosity and intrigue with our discoveries. Whether the world sees us as saviors or threats remains to be seen." Hawk nodded in understanding, his mind awash with conflicting emotions. As the echoes of Hawk's press conference faded, the world was left in a state of disbelief and skepticism. The idea that a single mineral could power an entire city for 2 decades seemed too fantastical to be true, and doubts began to swirl among the populace. From living rooms to boardrooms, conversations buzzed with skepticism and suspicion. Many viewed Hawk as a mad scientist driven by self-interest, his grand claims dismissed as nothing more than a desperate bid for power and profit. In the corridors of power, whispers of conspiracy grew louder, with accusations of ulterior motives and hidden agendas. Some speculated that Hawk's true aim was to monopolize the world's energy supply, while others feared that his ambitions would only serve to deepen the divides between nations. As the world grappled with uncertainty and distrust, Hawk's reputation hung in the balance, his every move scrutinized and dissected by a skeptical public. As Hawk stepped into the familiar confines of the secret office after their long and arduous journey by boat, a sense of weariness washed over him. With a heavy heart, he made his way to his room, his mind buzzing with thoughts of the press conference and its aftermath. As he settled into his chair, he reached for his phone, his fingers trembling slightly with anticipation and apprehension. With a sinking feeling in the pit of his stomach, Hawk retreated to his room, his mind buzzing with anticipation and trepidation. As he opened his messages, his heart sank at the sight of Sean's latest communication. The entire world looked at him as a mad scientist, Sean's message conveyed, their disbelief palpable in every corner of the globe. The disbelief and skepticism surrounding his claims about Planadium's power to fuel an entire city for 2 decades had spread like wildfire, casting doubt upon everything he had worked so tirelessly to achieve. The realization hit Hawk like a punch to the gut, the weight of the world's doubt bearing down on him with crushing force. How could he convince the world of the truth when they refused to believe in the power of Planadium? With a heavy sigh, Hawk leaned back in his chair, his mind swirling with uncertainty and doubt. The road ahead seemed fraught with obstacles and opposition, with no clear path forward in sight. Hawk's heart sank at the confirmation of his worst fears. Despite his best efforts to convey the truth of their discoveries, the world remained ensnared in skepticism and disbelief. It was a bitter pill to swallow, knowing that their hopes for a brighter future were met with scorn and derision. But even in the face of overwhelming skepticism and disbelief, a flicker of determination burned within him. He would not be deterred by the doubts of others, nor would he allow himself to be defined by their narrow-mindedness. For he knew that the power of Planadium was real, and its potential to change the course of history was too great to ignore. Hawk vowed to prove the skeptics wrong and forge ahead with determination and purpose. For in the darkest moments of doubt and despair, it was the flicker of hope that burned brightest, lighting the way forward towards a future filled with promise and possibility. Feeling weary and disheartened after their long journey, Hawk decided to retire to his room. The weight of the world's disbelief hung heavy on his shoulders as he scrolled through Sean's message. With a heavy heart, he acknowledged the widespread skepticism surrounding his claims about Planadium. Realizing that he needed time to process everything, Hawk resolved to sleep on it. The exhaustion of the journey, coupled with the disappointment of the world's reaction, left him feeling drained both physically and emotionally. With a sigh, he settled into bed, hoping that a night's rest would bring clarity and renewed determination in the face of adversity. The next morning, as Hawk groggily reached for his phone, another message from Sean awaited him. His heart sank as he read the unsettling news. With the backing of the Moon Exploration Agency, MEA, influential world leaders had unveiled a conspiracy theory to the public. According to this theory, Planadium was nothing more than an ordinary mineral found on the moon, devoid of any special properties related to energy generation. In essence, They claimed that Hawke's groundbreaking discovery was nothing more than a fanciful delusion, a mere stone masquerading as a solution to the world's energy crisis. The simplicity of the message belied the complexity of the situation. Hawke realized that this was not just an attack on his credibility, but a calculated assault on the very foundations of truth and progress. With the weight of the world's skepticism now compounded by this orchestrated deception, Hawke knew that he and his team faced an uphill battle unlike any they had encountered before. With a heavy heart, Hawke called upon his team to gather in the conference room to discuss the latest developments. As they assembled, the atmosphere was tense, each member of the team grappling with their own emotions in the wake of the shocking revelation. Hawke wasted no time in addressing the elephant in the room, laying out the details of the conspiracy that had been orchestrated against them. The room fell silent as his words hung in the air, the weight of the situation settling over them like a suffocating blanket. The team's reaction was mixed, their expressions ranging from disbelief to anger to resignation. Some members expressed outrage at the blatant manipulation of truth, while others seemed resigned to the harsh reality of the world's skepticism. As the team grappled with the latest setback, the weight of disappointment hung heavy in the air. Returning from the Earth's core had been a monumental achievement, but the prospect of journeying to the moon through space presented a daunting challenge unlike any they had faced before. The roadblock they encountered was more than just a physical obstacle. It was a symbol of the seemingly insurmountable barriers that stood between them and their goal. Despite their expertise and determination, the vastness of space posed a formidable challenge that threatened to dash their hopes and dreams. For a moment, silence engulfed the room as each member of the team wrestled with their own doubts and fears. The enormity of the task ahead loomed large, casting a shadow of uncertainty over their collective resolve. As the phone rang in the midst of their contemplation, Hawke's heart skipped a beat. With a sense of urgency, he answered the call from Sean, his breath catching in anticipation of what news awaited him. Sean's voice crackled through the line, carrying a hint of excitement. "Hawke, I've just received word from some of the miners at our geothermal plants," he began, his words cutting through the tension like a beacon of hope in the darkness. "They may not be astronauts, but they're eager to lend their support to our mission of mining on the moon." Hawke's spirits soared at the news, a surge of gratitude flooding through him. The unexpected show of solidarity from the miners was a ray of hope amidst the uncertainty that had clouded their path forward. As Hawke shared the news with the team, a spark of hope ignited within each member. The support from the miners was a promising development, but their discussion quickly turned to the practical challenges they still faced. "We have the support of the miners, but without a space shuttle and the necessary equipment, mining on the moon seems like an impossible task," Emily remarked, her voice tinged with concern. The sentiment was echoed by others in the room as they grappled with the daunting reality of their situation. Despite their determination, the lack of resources posed a significant obstacle to their plans. Hawke listened carefully to their concerns, his mind racing with possibilities. He knew that they would need more than just determination to overcome this hurdle. They would need a concrete plan and the means to execute it. With a sense of determination burning bright within him, Hawke addressed the team. "We may not have the resources we need right now, but that doesn't mean we should give up," he said, his voice filled with conviction. "Let's brainstorm ideas and explore every avenue available to us. Together, we will find a way to make this mission a reality." As the team delved deeper into their discussion, Edward's voice suddenly cut through the room, capturing everyone's attention. "Hawke, there's something I've been working on while you were away," he began, his tone tinged with excitement. Curious gazes turned towards Edward as he continued. "I've been conducting research on brumium and its unique abilities. With its help, we have the potential to create our own space shuttle, one that doesn't require any traditional fuel." Hawke's eyes widened in surprise, a spark of hope igniting within him at the prospect. "Go on, Edward," he urged, eager to hear more about this unexpected breakthrough. Edward's enthusiasm was palpable as he explained further. By incorporating brumium into the design of the spaceship, we can harness its gravitational abilities to propel us through space. And the best part is, the shuttle would have a carrying capacity equivalent to the weight of 2 cars, approximately 16,371 kilograms. Edward's insights sparked a flurry of excitement among the team as they considered the possibilities. The Coram ship is too heavy and lacks the necessary design for our purposes, Edward explained further. But with the new design, incorporating brumium at the center of the ship, we can create a circular structure that will serve as a center of gravity. This will allow the shuttle to move freely in all directions, controlled by the gravital controller. The implications of Edward's proposal were profound. The placement of brumium at the heart of the ship would serve as a gravitational focal point, enabling precise control over its movements in all directions. They could create a spacecraft that defied the limitations of traditional propulsion systems. The circular shape and central placement of brumium would provide unparalleled maneuverability, opening up new possibilities for their journey to the moon and beyond. We'll need to ensure that the design is both aerodynamic and structurally sound, Emily chimed in, her mind already racing with ideas. But if we can achieve that, we'll have a spacecraft unlike anything the world has ever seen. Edward's enthusiasm was tempered by the practical realities they faced. While the concept of our new spacecraft is promising, we're still faced with the challenge of lacking the necessary equipment to build it, he explained. This new spaceship will essentially be the size of a plane, but in a circular shape with a significant amount of empty space inside to accommodate the materials and equipment we'll need for our mission. The team listened intently, acknowledging the hurdles they would need to overcome in order to bring their vision to life. The lack of specialized equipment presented a formidable obstacle, one that threatened to derail their plans before they even began. Edward's voice resonated with determination as he addressed the team, acknowledging the practical challenges they faced in bringing their spacecraft design to fruition. While we have the vision for our new spacecraft, we must also confront the reality of our limitations, he began, his tone resolute. The lack of equipment to build a spacecraft of this size and complexity presents a significant hurdle, Edward continued, his brow furrowed in contemplation. However, if we can overcome this obstacle, we will have the opportunity to create a vessel with vast interior space, allowing us to carry a multitude of essential materials and equipment. The prospect of a spacecraft resembling the size of a plane, yet designed in a circular shape, sparked a renewed sense of determination among the team. They understood the magnitude of the task ahead, but they were undeterred by the challenges that lay in their path. Edward's next revelation, however, injected a note of optimism into the conversation. With our calculated speed of 1.3 kilometers per second, we can reach the moon in just 2 hours and 30 minutes, he announced, his voice tinged with excitement. That's comparable to the flight time of a normal commercial plane, a feat once thought impossible in space travel. With a sense of resolve, Hawk nodded thoughtfully at Edward's remarks. I'll reach out to Sean and see if he can help us procure the necessary materials, he declared, his voice filled with determination. The prospect of securing the materials needed to bring their spacecraft design to life was a daunting task, but Hawk was undeterred. He knew that Sean's connections and resources could prove invaluable in overcoming this latest obstacle. As Hawk dialed Sean's number with a sense of urgency, his heart sank when the phone rang unanswered. Frowning in concern, he tried again, but still, there was no response. A sense of unease crept over him as he contemplated the implications of Sean's unavailability. Had something happened? Was Sean in danger? The unanswered phone only added to his growing sense of apprehension. With a sense of urgency coursing through him, Hawk wasted no time in springing into action as he decrypted the mysterious message. His heart raced as the stark words, "Run and save your research," appeared on the screen before him. The gravity of the situation hit him like a sledgehammer. Sean was in danger, and their secret lab was compromised. Without hesitation, Hawk rushed to gather the team, his mind buzzing with thoughts of escape and survival. He knew that they had to act quickly if they were to save themselves and their research from falling into the wrong hands. "Everyone, we need to move now," Hawk exclaimed, his voice urgent as he relayed the grim news. "The secret lab is no longer safe. We have to gather the cosmic particles and brumium and head for the Quorum ship. It's our only chance to escape the island before it's too late." As the team hurried towards the Quorum ship, their hearts racing with adrenaline-fueled urgency, Edward took charge of the brumium and gravital controller, ensuring their vital components were securely in his possession. Meanwhile, Chad skillfully handled the cosmic particles, deploying shielding compartment to create a protective buffer zone to contain any potential energy emissions. With each member of the team executing their assigned tasks with precision and efficiency, they quickly made their way towards the Quorum ship, their minds focused on the singular goal of escape. Within a remarkably short span of just 30 minutes, they were assembled aboard the Quorum ship, their preparations complete and their spirits bolstered by the sense of unity and determination that coursed through them. As the ship's engines roared to life and they began their departure from the island, a collective sigh of relief echoed through the cabin. However, their moment of respite was short-lived, as they soon noticed something troubling on the horizon. As the Quorum ship soared through the waters, leaving the island behind, the team's sense of relief was short-lived. A kilometer away, a group of unwelcome visitors had arrived, their presence casting a palpable shadow of uncertainty over the team's escape. Tension crackled in the air as the team caught sight of the newcomers, their faces set in grim determination. These were no ordinary visitors. Their demeanor spoke of danger and hostility, their intentions unclear yet unmistakably ominous. Hawk's voice cut through the tense atmosphere aboard the Quorum ship, his words tinged with concern and urgency. "It's possible that Sean has been captured by whoever these people are," he said, his gaze sweeping over the team gathered before him. "And if they've come looking for us, it means they're after more than just our escape." A solemn silence descended upon the cabin as the gravity of Hawk's words settled over them. The realization that their lives and their research were in grave danger hung heavy in the air, each member of the team acutely aware of the precariousness of their situation. "It's fortunate that Sean was able to send us that message when he did," Hawk continued, his voice steady despite the turmoil raging within him. "If we had stayed any longer, who knows what they would have done to us and our research." The team nodded in solemn agreement, their expressions reflecting a mixture of fear and determination. Though the challenges ahead seemed daunting, they were united in their resolve to protect themselves and their work at all costs. With a collective sense of purpose driving them forward, they braced themselves for the trials that lay ahead, knowing that their journey was far from over and that the dangers they faced were only just beginning. As Edward carefully positioned the brumium at the end of the ship, securing the gravital controller in place, a sense of anticipation filled the air. The team watched with bated breath as brumium began to absorb the energy emanating from the cosmic particles, its surface glowing with an ethereal brilliance. At first, the sight seemed like a promising development, a sign that brumium was fulfilling its potential as a powerful energy source. But as moments passed, it became clear that something was amiss. The brumium's glow intensified, its surface shimmering with an otherworldly luminescence. It seemed to pulse with an energy of its own, growing increasingly unstable with each passing second. As Edward attempted to remotely move the brumium away from the vicinity of the cosmic particles, his efforts were met with unexpected resistance. To his dismay, the brumium remained stubbornly immobile, defying his commands and refusing to budge from its position. A sense of apprehension washed over Edward as he grappled with the implications of this discovery. If brumium couldn't be moved, they were facing a serious problem, one that threatened the safety of the entire team and the success of their mission. Meanwhile, near the ship's main control, Hawk's keen eyes caught sight of an alarming development. The Quorum ship was veering off course, its trajectory shifting in unexpected directions. The sudden movement sent shockwaves of concern rippling through the team, their faces etched with worry as they struggled to comprehend the gravity of the situation. As Edward relayed the concerning news to the control room, informing Hawk about the unexpected immobility of the Brumium. A sense of urgency colored his words. "Hawk, the Brumium won't budge," he explained, his voice tight with concern. "I've tried everything, but it's as if it's rooted in place." At the same time, Hawk shared his own revelation with Edward. The Coram ship's uncontrollable movement coincided with the last direction in which Edward had attempted to move the Brumium. A chill ran down Hawk's spine as the pieces of the puzzle fell into place. "Edward, I think you're onto something," he replied, his voice grave with realization. "The ship's movement and the Brumium's immobility, they're connected. It's as if the Brumium is exerting some kind of influence over the ship." In an instant, understanding dawned between them, a shared realization of the gravity of their situation. The connection between the Brumium's immobility and the ship's erratic movement became glaringly clear, painting a troubling picture of cause and effect. As Hawk and Edward raced to regain control of the Coram ship, they found themselves faced with a perplexing yet fortuitous development. Utilizing the gravital controller, they discovered that they could manipulate the ship's movements, albeit in an unconventional manner. To their amazement, they realized that Brumium had somehow become intricately linked with the ship, functioning as though it were an integral part of its design. Despite lacking any physical attachment, Brumium's presence seemed to influence the ship's behavior, much like a car engine seamlessly integrated into its chassis. The discovery left the team in awe, marveling at the unexpected synergy between Brumium and the Coram ship. Though the exact mechanics behind this phenomenon remained a mystery, they knew that they had stumbled upon a remarkable breakthrough, one that could potentially revolutionize their understanding of spacecraft technology. With Brumium now serving as an unprecedented source of power and propulsion for the Coram ship, the team felt a renewed sense of hope and determination. Despite the challenges they had faced, they were reminded of their resilience and ingenuity, and they knew that with Brumium's newfound connection, they had the means to navigate through even the most daunting of obstacles. As Hawk and Edward reflected on the remarkable turn of events, a sense of awe and gratitude washed over them. "It seems like fate has once again shown us the way," Hawk mused, his voice tinged with a mixture of wonder and humility. He glanced at Edward, a knowing smile playing at the corners of his lips. "If we hadn't left the island in such haste and inadvertently placed both the cosmic particle and Brumium in close proximity, none of this would have happened." As Edward contemplated the remarkable synergy between Brumium, the cosmic particle, and the Coram mineral, he couldn't shake the feeling that their convergence was more than mere coincidence. Turning to Hawk, he shared his insights, his voice filled with a sense of wonder and awe. "It's as if these elements have formed an inexplicable harmony, guiding us towards this moment," Edward mused, his eyes alight with curiosity. "The way Brumium, the cosmic particle, and the Coram mineral have all interacted, it's unlike anything I've ever seen before." Hawk nodded in agreement, his own fascination mirroring Edward's. "There's a sense of interconnectedness between them, as though they were always meant to come together in this way," he remarked, his mind racing with possibilities. As they continued their conversation, the magnitude of their discovery began to sink in. What had started as a series of seemingly unrelated events had now culminated in a revelation that defied explanation. It was a testament to the boundless mysteries of the universe and the endless potential for discovery that lay within. Inspired by the newfound connection between Brumium and the Coram ship, Edward embarked on a daring experiment. With determination coursing through his veins, he set out to integrate the gravital controller directly with the ship's control systems, forging a direct link that would allow them to maneuver the Coram ship with unprecedented precision. As he worked tirelessly in the control room, his fingers flying across the control panels with practiced expertise, a sense of anticipation filled the air. With each adjustment and calibration, the connection grew stronger, weaving together the intricate threads of technology and possibility. And then, in a moment of triumph, the integration was complete. The gravital controller hummed to life, its interface merging seamlessly with the ship's control systems, creating a unified interface that would grant them unparalleled control over the Coram ship's movements. With a sense of satisfaction, Edward glanced at Hawk, a smile of accomplishment gracing his features. "It's done," he declared, his voice ringing with confidence. "We now have direct control over the Quorum ship from the control room." Hawk nodded in approval, his eyes shining with pride. "Well done, Edward," he praised, his admiration evident. "With this newfound capability, we'll be able to navigate through the challenges that lie ahead with ease." With the gravital controller now integrated into their control systems, the team felt a renewed sense of empowerment. The Quorum ship stood as a testament to human ingenuity, its sleek exterior glistening in the soft glow of the hangar lights. Resembling the size of a passenger airplane without the wings, it exuded an aura of strength and resilience, its surface adorned with intricate panels and reinforced hulls. But it was not just its exterior made from corundum that spoke of its remarkable design. Within its confines lay a marvel of engineering, a labyrinth of corridors and chambers, each meticulously crafted to fulfill a specific purpose. Advanced drilling mechanisms adorned its underbelly, capable of piercing through even the toughest of materials with ease. Yet, it was not just its robust construction that set it apart. The ship's interior boasted state-of-the-art layers of insulation, shielding its occupants from the harsh extremes of space. Despite the searing heat of Earth's core for which it was originally designed, the Quorum ship now stood poised to venture into the far reaches of the cosmos, its insulation ensuring that the chill of space would never penetrate its walls. And then there was the Brumium, a mysterious and enigmatic presence that had become intrinsically linked with the ship, propelling it forward with an otherworldly energy. With Brumium's assistance, the Quorum ship had transcended its original purpose, transforming into a vessel capable of gliding effortlessly through the vast expanse of space. As the team marveled at the sight before them, they knew that the Quorum ship represented more than just a mode of transportation. It was a symbol of human potential, a testament to the boundless curiosity and determination that drove them ever onward in their quest for discovery. And as they prepared to embark on the next leg of their journey, the Quorum ship stood as a beacon of hope, its sleek silhouette cutting through the darkness of space as a reminder of the limitless possibilities that awaited them in the great unknown. As Hawk addressed the team, his words carried a weight of both gratitude and contemplation. "I can't help but wonder," he began, his voice tinged with a sense of awe, "whether it's fate, destiny, or perhaps something or someone watching over us, guiding our path once again." Hawk's voice carried a solemn tone as he continued, his words reflective of the weight of their experiences. "As a scientist," he began, his tone measured, "I've always believed in facts, in empirical evidence that can be observed and tested. Concepts like fate or destiny have often seemed beyond the realm of scientific inquiry. But," he continued, his gaze turning inward as he grappled with the complexity of their journey, "in light of everything we've witnessed, everything we've endured, from our journey to the Earth's core, to the discovery of cosmic particles in Brumium, to our current predicament fleeing from our fellow humans, I can't help but wonder if there's more to our story than mere chance." His words hung in the air, a silent acknowledgement of the uncertainty that surrounded them. "Perhaps," he ventured, "there are forces at play that we can't yet comprehend, guiding us along a path that we're only just beginning to understand." With a sense of resolve, he turned to the team, his eyes meeting theirs with unwavering determination. "Regardless of what lies ahead," he declared, "we will face it together, armed with our knowledge, our expertise, and our unyielding determination to overcome whatever challenges may come our way." He paused, allowing his words to sink in before continuing. "Consider this, even if we had succeeded in building a new spacecraft design, a circular vessel to carry us through the depths of space, we would have faced insurmountable challenges. The regular barrage of asteroid impacts would have posed a constant threat, risking the integrity of our vessel with each passing moment. But now," he continued, a note of quiet determination in his voice, "with the Quorum ship, we have something more than just a means of transportation. We have an impenetrable fortress, capable of withstanding the harshest of conditions and emerging unscathed from even the most formidable of obstacles." Hawk's words resonated with a sense of determination and unity as he addressed the team once more. "I can't say for certain whether planadium exists on the moon's surface," he admitted, his tone thoughtful, "but what I do know is that we have the means to find out." He gestured towards the specialized suits that stood ready nearby, their sturdy construction a testament to the years of research and development that had gone into their creation. With these suits, capable of withstanding temperatures of up to 1600 degrees Celsius, we have the tools we need to explore the moon's surface firsthand. Turning to the team, his gaze sweeping across their faces, Hawk's expression was one of unwavering resolve. "We've been on this journey together for 9 years now, ever since we began our mission in 2052, he reminded them. "And in that time, we've become more than just colleagues. We've become a family and explorers." He glanced towards the Quorum ship, its sleek silhouette a symbol of their collective perseverance and ingenuity. "With the Quorum ship still fully stocked with 8 years' worth of food and oxygen, we have everything we need to embark on this journey," he continued. "And if everyone is in agreement, we can make this voyage to the moon without needing the help of the world." "As we stand on the threshold of this monumental journey," Hawk began, his voice steady yet filled with anticipation, "I must ask each of you, are you ready to venture to the moon?" His question hung in the air, a moment of solemn reflection as each member of the team considered the gravity of their decision. And then, one by one, they responded with resounding affirmation. "Absolutely," Edward chimed in, his voice tinged with excitement. "Ready as ever," Chad added, his resolve unwavering. "Yes," Emily, Jillian, and Andrew declared, their eyes shining with determination. And so, with unanimous consent from the team, their path forward was clear. With Broomium now seamlessly integrated into the Quorum ship, space travel had become a far more manageable endeavor. But as they prepared to embark on their journey, they knew that the true challenges lay ahead: the mining operations and the unforgiving environment of the lunar surface. With a sense of anticipation coursing through their veins, Hawk turned to Edward, a glint of excitement in his eyes. "What are we waiting for, Edward?" he exclaimed, his voice ringing with determination. "Let's see if our Quorum ship can take us towards the moon." Edward nodded, his fingers poised over the controls as he initiated the ship's ascent. Slowly but steadily, the Quorum ship began to rise from its watery berth, breaking through the surface of the ocean with a graceful ease. As it emerged into the night sky, a cascade of water trailed in its wake, shimmering in the moonlight like liquid diamonds. The ship's exterior, a sleek shade of gray, gleamed in the soft glow of the moon, its surface reflecting the ethereal beauty of the night. With each passing moment, it seemed to come alive, pulsating with a sense of purpose and anticipation as it prepared to embark on its journey to the stars. And as the Quorum ship soared ever higher into the heavens, leaving behind a trail of water droplets glistening in its wake, the team watched in awe, filled with a sense of wonder at the possibilities that lay ahead. For in that moment, as they stood on the threshold of a new adventure, they knew that their destiny awaited them among the stars. "Edward," Hawk called out, his voice filled with excitement, "let's push the limits. Increase the speed to the highest setting." With a nod from Hawk, Edward adjusted the controls, gradually increasing the speed of the Quorum ship to its highest tested velocity of 1.3 kilometers per second. As the ship surged forward, slicing effortlessly through Earth's atmosphere, a sense of exhilaration filled the air. The team watched in awe as the ship cruised with unparalleled smoothness, devoid of any vibrations or resistance. It was a testament to the remarkable capabilities of the Quorum ship, powered by the enigmatic properties of Broomium and guided by Edward's expert navigation. Yet, as Edward continued to push the ship to its limits, something unexpected happened. The digital speedometer on the ship's console began to display readings far beyond what they had anticipated. What should have been a maximum speed of 1.3 kilometers per second was now registering speeds in excess of 1,000 kilometers per second, and the numbers showed no signs of slowing down. Confusion rippled through the team as they struggled to comprehend the anomaly. Despite the ship's physical speed remaining constant at 1.3 kilometers per second, the digital readout indicated a velocity that defied all logic. As they grappled with this inexplicable phenomenon, a sense of unease crept over them, mingled with a growing sense of excitement. For in that moment, they realized that their journey was about to take an unexpected turn, propelling them into uncharted territory where the laws of physics seemed to bend and warp with each passing moment. As the Quorum ship soared higher and higher, leaving Earth's atmosphere behind, the team settled into their seats, their seatbelts securely fastened as they prepared for the journey ahead. But as they ventured further into the depths of space, a sense of bewilderment washed over them. Despite leaving the confines of Earth's atmosphere far behind, they noticed something peculiar. The gravity within the Quorum ship remained unchanged. There was no discernible shift in gravitational forces, no sense of weightlessness that typically accompanied space travel. For the team, this realization came as a shock, a deviation from the laws of physics as they understood them. In the vast expanse of space, where the rules of the universe were meant to reign supreme, they found themselves confronted with a phenomenon that defied explanation. Emily's words echoed through the cabin of the Quorum ship, her voice tinged with a sense of awe and curiosity. "It's as if we're now grappling with the unknown forces of the universe," she mused, her eyes alight with wonder. "If I'm not mistaken, it feels like the Quorum ship has its own gravitational field, much like Earth or the Moon." She turned to Hawk, her expression thoughtful yet filled with excitement. "We've always known that gravity is a fundamental force in the universe, but we've never truly understood how it works," she continued. "And yet, here we are, witnessing the effects of gravity firsthand on the Quorum ship." Her gaze drifted to the brumium at the center of the ship, its ethereal glow casting a mesmerizing light throughout the cabin. "It's almost as if the cosmic particle, brumium, and corium are all perfectly in sync," she speculated, her voice trailing off as she pondered the implications of their discovery. "And somehow, their interaction has activated the gravitational forces on the Quorum ship, creating a sense of gravity that mirrors that of celestial bodies like Earth or the Moon." Hawk nodded in agreement, his expression reflecting a mixture of excitement and anticipation. "You're right, Emily," he replied, his voice tinged with a sense of wonder. "This feels like just the tip of the iceberg, an opening into a world of possibilities we've only begun to glimpse." As the Quorum ship continued its journey towards the Moon, Hawk couldn't shake the feeling that they were on the brink of something truly extraordinary. With each passing moment, the mysteries of the cosmos seemed to beckon with greater intensity, drawing them ever closer to the unknown wonders that awaited them. "But for now," Hawk continued, his gaze fixed on the vast expanse of space stretching out before them, "all we can do is press forward, guided by our curiosity and driven by the desire to uncover the truths that lie hidden beyond the Earth." They ventured forth into the depths of space, ready to embrace whatever challenges and revelations awaited them on their journey to the Moon. For in that moment, they knew that they were not just explorers, but pioneers, forging a path into the unknown and leaving their mark on the archives of human history. This has been Stellar Book 4 from the core series, narrated by Nkennard, copyright 2024 Nkennard, production copyright 2024 by Nkennard. Audiobook partner StoryDepths available only on YouTube.